Hey, what's going on? Welcome to Cleave to Antiquity. Back with another episode of Roman Catholic News. This one is going to be absolutely insane. Some of the stuff that's happened in this last week would absolutely blow your mind. I have so much information to cover with you this week. It might literally drive you insane, but if you're able to take it, strap in because this is going to be a wild episode. So, we've got crazy situation with William Albrecht and Sam Shamoun and Divine Mercy apologetics, which we'll dive into in depth in a moment here. But I've got other information to cover, more SKITTLES appointments by Pope Leo. We've got craziness with Roman Catholic universities. We've got all sorts of stuff, wild masses in the Novus Ordo, all sorts of craziness. Strap in. This is going to be a crazy episode. I'm really looking forward to diving into this. Honestly, I like doing streams like this. It's kind of fun. But let me go ahead and see who's here. Let me get my incense sniffers. Tap W in the chat. W incense. Where's my incense sniffers at? W incense in the chat. And I'll start getting this stuff pulled up. And we're going to dive into it. Some of this craziness going on in the Roman Catholic world. Yeah, W incense. Yeah. Well, I figured I'd pop on and I do this stream. A lot of people are snowed in today. I'm not. I'm in Florida. So, it's like 70 degrees. So we are not cold at all. But I know some of y'all were snowed in. So I figure give you a little something to watch today. So, hey, thank you for the $10 super chat. I appreciate it. As always, on these goofy streams, on these silly goose streams, I'm gonna hit you with the scream. Where's my scream at? There's my scream right there. I'm gonna hit you with this scream right here. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it. Always appreciate the support. Love your work. Hey, I love your work. Sending in super chats. Thank you so much. Yeah, so I know a lot of people are like snowed in and stuff, but wild. All right, so let's dive in. I've got a lot to cover this week. If you follow me on X, do me a favor, retweet the post saying that we're doing this stream, so that way I can get more people in the live stream chat to watch this. And then if you want to ask me questions or whatever, don't ask me theological stuff, okay? I try to make sure I have somebody who is qualified for teaching on that. So, but let's dive into this news stuff because I'm going to do some news reporting here. All right, so here's a new Pope Leo appointment. Pope Leo appoints pro-SKITTLES Archbishop Carlo Roberto Maria Radeli, known for refusing to condemn SKITTLES marriages. So he was a little ambiguous on his stance on this issue. He refused to condemn it when he was asked to do so. At one point, gave a very ambiguous answer to the question of SKITTLES marriages. I'm going to dive into this article here. This is from LifeSite. Note one thing, though. Roman Catholics really hate LifeSite news. Except for, if you're a trad, you don't really care because you're used to this kind of stuff. They do not like scandal being reported on. Most of these people would rather have this stuff swept under the rug, right? I don't think that solves anything. I think this needs to be brought to the light. So the bishops are aware, so people are aware, so the laymen are aware, so that way maybe something can be done and these things be addressed. But let's dive into this. Pope Leo appoints pro-SKITTLES Archbishop as Secretary for Dicastery for Clergy. So this is the gentleman, Archbishop Carlo, was named today as the new Secretary for Dicastery for Clergy. This is John Henry Weston. He runs LifeSite News. He says, breaking. Pope Leo's new secretary for the Dicastery for Clergy is Archbishop Carlo, known for refusing to condemn a SKITTLES marriage of a Roman Catholic scout leader, instead promoting welcome discernment and integration. That's the quote from this guy. Welcome discernment and integration. Now, when I shared this post on X, so I retweeted this, or I quote tweeted it, and I said something along the lines of, are you seeing a pattern yet? I got a big response from different Roman Catholics saying, LifeSite News, this is like fake. Like LifeSite News is just fake news or whatever. That's not the case. This is an actual citation from this person. They're wanting to cover this stuff up. And then they'll say, oh, what about deaconess? What about like they'll like bring up like 20-year-old scandals or like scandals from a year ago or the same 5 scandals from maybe 10 years ago. And they'll say like, deflect, let's look at this thing. Well, how about we just focus on the issue that's happening today? Because these things happen every single day, it seems like. So all of these appointments, have you noticed in the last couple of streams that I've pushed out, it's mostly been these crazy appointments. When you're setting up people into these positions to run dicasteries, this is an issue of a legacy. So if this isn't called out now by Roman Catholics, I mean, I'm just like some guy, right? But if people in the hierarchy don't start calling this stuff out now, where's the Roman Catholic Church going to be in 10 years? Where's it going to be in 20 years? If these are the people leading your dicasteries, if these are the people that are being promoted to cardinals, if these are the people that are, I mean, look at the person who runs a dicastery, the doctrine of faith, right? Cardinal Smoochie. He's out there promoting Skittle stuff all the time. So, I mean, we're just going to get more and more of these spots filled up in the Roman Catholic Church. We're going to see more and more stuff that'll probably get reported on this show, but I would rather it just get resolved. How about that? I would rather Roman Catholic families don't have to worry about their kids being indoctrinated when they send them to Sunday school. How about that? How about we just like and love people and call this stuff out so it doesn't affect people more than it needs to? Anyway, so this person who is this archbishop who was appointed over the dicastery and his pro-Skittles views were mentioned in a 2020 book by Luciano Moy, a senior, I can't even pronounce that name, a senior journalist for the Italian Bishops' Conference daily newspaper. In his book, he argues that the church should look at chastity within a Skittles relationship the same way it looks at chastity within marriage. It's trying to blur the lines here. As an example of how the church should begin to do this, the author cited the Archbishop's response to the Skittles marriage in 2017 of a Skittles Catholic scout leader. In the author's words, the Archbishop threw everyone off. He refused the role of the judge. He didn't absolve, but neither did he condemn. He invited the community to reflect together, to understand if, even from such a divisive occurrence, one can receive aspects of grace and intervention in search of moderation that invited and of that invitation to welcome, discern, and integrate. Okay, this is his citation: to welcome what? Skittles marriage, to discern this, and to integrate. This doesn't seem super vague to me. But normally when you have these kinds of people talk about this stuff, it's like a little mealy-mouthed. It's like this double speak. They're using like terms. They're not going to say, yes, we want Skittles marriage in the church. They're going to say, let's discern. Let's welcome them. Let's integrate. Integrate's a little straightforward. Anyway, you get the point. An invitation to welcome, discern, and integrate. That was his response to the Skittles marriage of a Roman Catholic Cub Scout leader. Basing itself on sacred scripture, which presents Skittles acts as grave depravity, tradition has always declared that, yada, yada. So he's just saying why this is bad. So pretty much we have another bad appointment. This seems to be the next in a long line of bad appointments by Pope Leo. At this point, it doesn't seem like, and I mean, we know this isn't the case. It doesn't seem like it's just a case of incompetence. It seems like these people are being selected for their views. Because we just had another one appointed to the cardinalate that had the same exact views as this guy, and a bunch of people in the Skittles community basically getting promotions in the Roman Catholic Church, it seems like. So yet another bad appointment. Let me see here. $20 super chat. Thank you so much. Canada. Yeah, you guys are freezing over there. I saw you had some exploding trees or something like that. It was like -50 the other day. Good grief. One scream for that, for the exploding trees in Canada. I appreciate you. Camp, $5. What's up? Escape to antiquity. I've got to escape this dimension. If there are any more Skittles appointments by Pope Leo, I will have to open a portal on this side of the screen and escape to another dimension so I don't have to watch Roman Catholic news anymore. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you. Yeah, but this stuff is wild. Wild. Just the phrase Skittles scout leader makes me sad. Yes, 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 because these are people watching your children. That should make you very, very concerned. Why are you defending this kind of stuff? And you're getting promoted basically for it. Absolutely insane. All right, so I've got more to cover. There's even more news, believe it or not. That was our first news story. So we're kind of tiptoeing into the content today because I've got a lot of stuff to cover. So this one's kind of comical. I mean, this is just your classic Novus Ordo cringe. Let's take a look at this. So Fred Simon, who is a Roman Catholic guy on Twitter, kind of a trad cat, shared this image from last week. This was a Novus Ordo mass. Gosh, I forget which site this is. I'll check the comments. He says, meanwhile, at the Novus Ordo, I just saw this. I'm like, what is going on? So this was a mass this last week. The priest is wearing a green mohawk hat. What is going on? I mean, imagine you're a Protestant, right? And you've just had you got blasted by the canon conundrum. And you're like, wait a minute, how do I know canon with sola scriptura? How do I know canon or whatever? I don't know. You just got blasted by some Roman Catholic guy on the internet. So now you're like, maybe Roman Catholicism is true. You go to your first mass and you're greeted by the super based trad priest in a green mohawk hat. Your super based trad mohawk hat. Because don't you know, if you would have only submitted to the Roman Catholic magisterium, you would have seen the truth. That is the mohawk during the mass, which is really the only way to actually worship according to the Roman Catholic apologetics. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, where was the photo taken? The photo was taken at the Grotto of Massabel, also known as the Massabel Grotto, in the sanctuary of Our Lady of Lourdes, France. This is the famous cave-like site where the Virgin Mary is said to have appeared to Saint Bernadette in 1858. All right. So anyway, you get the point. So this is a Roman Catholic mass. This isn't just some random thing. So you go to the Novus Ordo mass and you have priest with mohawk hat on in the middle of the mass. I like the Novus Ordo Watch YouTube page where they do their clown mass compilations. Have you guys ever seen that? I've played it on this channel a couple of times. But they'll have like the priest with the guitar blessing. He's like, let us rock with you as you roll with us. Like, I feel like this is the average experience for the Roman Catholic, because a lot of the guys that do apologetics or like public speakers or whatever in the Roman Catholic world are either uniates or they attend a TLM. But you go to the average Roman Catholic service and it's like this. It's the Novus Ordo. It's just like crazy land. You've got like I saw a video where there was like clowns in the mass going to like cheer people up in the pews. Like they were like, oh, they were playing some sad song and the clowns are all going to like all the old people in the pews, like giving them hugs and stuff, comforting them. Just odd stuff. Makes you feel like you're in a fever dream most of the time. Yeah, Novus Ordo Mass is just mainline Protestantism now. Yeah, you'll see the same thing in a lot of mainline Protestant churches. We just covered this last week in LCMS. The LCMS, which is supposed to be the conservative Lutherans, hired a Jewish rabbi as one of their clergy. I mean, they've got like just absolutely crazy stuff going on in the main lines now. Wild. Extremely efficient atheism factory. Yeah. Look, I would be way more happy. All right, look, I'm going to pitch something. Trads, this is what you need to push for. Just abolish the Novus Ordo, 98% of your problems. That's not even true, because the hierarchy is a huge issue in Roman Catholicism. 50% of your problems are solved. Abolish the Novus Ordo. You can stick to your, weird uniate services. You can stick to your TLMs and things like this, but just stop going to the Novus Ordo, make them all run out of money, and then, only support the other ones. And then, that'll solve 50% of your problems. And then you just got to become Orthodox, and then that'll solve 100% of your problems. So, yeah. 60% of Roman Catholics don't believe in the real presence anymore. Yeah, Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. There's a troll in the chat. I'm banning the troll. Banning the troll. Piety signaling troll. All right, let's continue on. I've got a lot more to cover. So again, in just a little bit, we're going to cover the Sam Shamoun and William Albrecht craziness. You know what? I might cover. Yeah, I need to cover my forearms. That's right. This is it. This is immodest. This is immodesty. You get a little forearm action in the shot. Sorry. Next time I'll wear a long sleeve shirt in Florida, and I'll just be sweating profusely on stream trying to catch my breath. Dude, it's freezing everywhere else. Today was hot. Today was actually hot in Florida. And our fellowship hall at church had no AC. So we're sitting in there sweating, dude. You guys are freezing like -50. It was hot. It was hot where we were at. All right. But that's good. It's like a good reminder. It's like if you don't want the heat, then you better try not to go to hell. There you go. It's a good sermon right there. It's a good sermon. All right. Let me see what else I have to cover before I dive into the big stuff. There you go. Okay, here's a good one. John Henry Weston tweets to Pope Leo. He says, "Dear Pope Leo, why are you appointing baby unaliving supporters to senior Vatican posts?" Okay. So he appoints these consultants to the Dicastery for Interreligious Dialogue. Some of them aren't even Roman Catholic, but some of them are pro unaliving babies. These are the people who he's appointing to key positions within the Vatican. Let's take a look at this. All right, so let me make sure I'm sharing my screen. Yep, perfect. Pope Leo appoints heterodox consultants to Dicastery for Interreligious Dialogue. Take this with a grain of salt because it's the heterodox calling people heterodox, but you get the point. Pope Leo appoints wild consultants. All right, anyway. Vatican City, Life Site News. Pope Leo has appointed 19 new consultants to the Dicastery for Interreligious Dialogue, confirming a line of nominations consistent with those made under Pope Francis. On Monday, the Holy See announced that Pope Leo had named 19 consultants to the Dicastery for Interreligious Dialogue in Vatican City, selecting clerics, religious, and lay academics from various countries to advise the Dicastery in its mission on fostering relations between the Catholic Church and followers of other religions. Among the newly appointed consultant is Emelise Cuda, who is also secretary of the Pontifical Commission for Latin America. She stated in a 2020 interview, "I do not comment on unaliving babies because I am specialized in social morality, not in bioethics." Whoop. So she's like, I'm not exactly pro-life. Cuda attracted international attention in 2022 following the decision of the United Supreme Court to overturn Roe v. Wade. Commenting on the ruling, she warned that many Catholics confuse the defense of life with the defense of ideological positions. You're being a little too right-wing here, okay? You got to lighten up on this whole saving babies' lives thing. You know, we got to be sacrificing more to Moloch, basically. And these are the people they're appointing to key Vatican positions. She argued that human dignity should not be reduced to the issues of unaliving babies and unaliving adults alone. Cuda is also publicly associated with the quote-unquote theology of people, a current of thought originating in Argentina and germinated from the condemned theology of liberation. So she's a liberation theology proponent. Okay. So basically appointing people who are super, super, super left-wing that go against even Roman Catholic teaching on the subject of unaliving babies. So basically appointing demons to their dicasteries. Another appointee is Monica Santamaria, leading figure in the World Union of Catholic Women's Organizations. In June 2023, Santamaria called for combating what she described as clericalism by expanding the presence of women in seminaries. Whoa, women priests, we want them women priests. You gonna get your Eucharist from the woman priest in the Roman Catholic Church. And in church leadership, speaking to the daily newspaper of the Italian Conference of Bishops, she said, "It is no secret that the gap exists. Obviously not at all levels and not in the same way." In the same interview, she praised Pope Francis as champion of inclusion for appointing women to senior Vatican roles. We want them Vatican roles. We want to unalive the babies and take all the Vatican roles, while maintaining that much clericalism still persists, especially at the local level. Oh, look, at the local level where women can't be priests because these ladies want to be priests. That's what they want. So they're appointing basically these feminist revolutionaries to these high-level positions within the Roman Catholic Church. They're taking over the dicasteries. We were talking about this in the last episode. You had the first ever woman to run a dicastery at the Vatican. And guess which one it is? It's the one that's over all the people in the religious life, the monks, the nuns. You got a woman ruling over male priests in the Roman Catholic Church. You basically already have a woman bishop. You just call it something else. This is just like Roman Catholics already have women deacons. They just call them extraordinary Eucharistic ministers. So you've got Miss Susan from Parish Council handing you your Eucharist in the middle of the church service instead of the priest. So you've already got women deacons in the Roman Catholic Church. You just call it something else. Now the Roman Catholics are going to be like, that's not what a deacon is. The deacon, blah, blah. Okay, show me in church history where people that were not ordained were handing out the Eucharist to people. Show me that. Why don't you show me that, buddy? Because you can't find it. So anyway, the list of consultants also includes, so it gets worse, Anna Maria, whoa, what kind of name is that? Biden, Joe Biden. The list of consultants also includes Joe Biden. No, I'm just kidding. President of a confederation of lay movements called Pax Romana. In June 2023, interview with whatever website this is, she said, our great challenge is how to help articulate and build the synodal church. You're going to hear this a lot, the synodal church. In the same interview, she stated that without the work of the laity, liberation theology would have never been born. So more woke nonsense. He also referred to theologian Gustavo Gutierrez as then serving as an advisor to Pax Romana groups in Peru. Founding father of liberation theology, died in October 2024. So liberation theology, feminist woke nonsense. Anyway, from Latin America, Sophia, I'm not going to pronounce the crazy name, was named among the consultants. She's associated with indigenous, feminist, and decolonial theology. We got to decolonize the Roman Catholic Church. We're going to decolonize the Roman Catholic Church, and is a member of the community of indigenous women theologians, which is the indigenous name for the region of Latin America and the Caribbean. She has been presented by the World Council of Churches as a primary voice of indigenous theology, basically pagan nonsense, and that values living in dignity and sacredness with the earth, praising the earth mother up in here, and respect for all forms of life. She's also spoken of Andean spirituality as unconditionally linked to Pachamama. Pachamama. You remember this? When Pope Francis, when he was still alive, when he had that Pachamama idol in the middle of the Vatican, he was blessing it. Good grief. Now they really like the Pachamama stuff. So now they're promoting people that like this Pachamama stuff to the top of the ranks. We like the paganism. We like having idols. We like these pagan idols in the church, according to the Roman Catholic Church, apparently. The Mother Earth. We praising Mother Earth up in the Vatican, y'all. We praising it now. The final highlighted appointment is that of Father Wasim Salman. Delicious. Father Salman, a Syro-Italian priest. That's funny. He's got the fish name. Italian priest incarnated at the Diocese of Palestrina. Salman has described interreligious dialogue as the only path to peace, between religions. So ecumenism, basically. You've got ecumenism fishman, stating it is for the love of our Muslim brothers. Our Muslim brothers? Our Muslim brothers? It's for the love of our Muslim brothers, according to the Roman Catholic. I mean, they got the same God, I guess, because that's what they say in Vatican II, right? Roman Catholics have the same God as the Muslims. So I guess they can call Muslims brothers. Lord of mercy. It is for the love of our Muslim brothers that will mark our activities, especially since the church shares with Islam the same concerns described and developed extensively in the document on human fraternity. He also relates to Islam as the great religion whose spread is impressive today. So you've got ecumenist priests that love Muslims, calls them their brothers. So I guess, I mean, since he's calling them brothers, what, they share the same faith? Anyway, great religion, wonderful, the greatest religion. We love Islam and the Roman Catholic Church. We love Pachamama. We love all of these. Anyway, the dicastery for interreligious dialogue was established by Pope Paul, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You get the point. So they've got basically pro-unaliving babies lady as one of these people being brought in to head this dicastery. Another appointee was priest hater that basically says liberation theology is super based. We love liberation theology. Same with this other lady. Then you've got pagan lady, and then you've also got Pachamama lady, Mother Earth lady. Then you've got the Muslim loving fish priest, Father Salman. Anyway, Lord of mercy, that is crazy. That is crazy. So, yeah. $2, 40 crush. Saint Olaf, pray for us and all of Norway. Yes. My church is based out of the priest's house. Oh, so you're going to a home church over there. Well, God bless you. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. Hick at heart, for every one supposed Orthodox deaconess scandal, there's a week's worth of corruption from Rome. Glory to Orthodoxy. Well, there's like only one scandal, and that was the one from in Africa. Yeah, but anyway. Woman priest, Queen Eucharist. Oh my goodness. Thank you for the super chats. I appreciate you. Let me know in the chat, should I keep the scream sound effect? Somebody was saying it was annoying, but a lot of people were saying they really liked the scream. So tell me, do you like it, or should I swap it out for something else? Is it jarring, or should I keep this scream? Let me know. Give me a 1 if you want to keep it. Give me a 2 if you want it gone. Do a poll. Dude, I'm such a boomer. How do I do a poll in this thing, dude? How do I do a poll in this thing? I don't know if I can do that. Let me see. I can't figure that out on the fly. All right, 1. The scream helps me nap. All right. Yeah, 1, 2. You know what? This is what I'll do. I'll make a post after for the YouTube thing in the community tab or whatever. I'll make a post where y'all can vote if I should get rid of the screen. I'm going to keep using it. For now. But I'll let y'all give me some suggestions of what to replace it with in that community post. How about that? All right, yeah. Swap. A lot of people are saying swap. All right, let's see. Well, I mean, there's like a bunch of stuff in here that's default, but I should find like a I should use that like that fa sound effect. That would be funny. All right. Let's keep going. I've got a lot of news stories to cover, and we haven't even gotten to the deep stuff yet. So let's keep going because I've got a lot of news stories to cover for this show. All right, what's the next thing I want to pull up? Because I've got a whole buffet of news stories here. Let's go with more of the appointments because we've got even crazier Pope Leo appointments. These have been absolutely bonkers, bananas, crazy, loco, cuckoo. All right, let's take a look at this. Breaking. Pope Leo appoints new Archbishop of Cape Town, Bishop Sepuka, who has openly considered adding elements of pagan abunga ancestor channeling divination rites to the Catholic liturgy. So he says we need to add a little pagan bunga into the Roman Catholic liturgy. So we're gonna have pagan liturgies. Let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at this story because this is wild. Does this get tiring to y'all? All of these appointments are just more insane than the last one. Pope Leo appoints new Cape Town. No way they call it a bunga. Sometimes I just read the chat. It just completely derails me. You guys are hilarious, dude. No way they call it a bunga. Oh, Lord of mercy. That's wild. All right. Focus. All right. Pope Leo appoints new Cape Town Archbishop who considered adding pagan rite to the liturgy. What is even going on anymore? What is even going on in the Roman Catholic Church? I don't need to do this show anymore. I feel like nothing I can do. Like I always feel like there's no way I'm going to be able to top last week's show. There's absolutely no way. There can't be that many crazy news stories every single week. And I get proven wrong every single week. It gets worse and worse and worse with crazier stories just like this. So, new Cape Town Archbishop who considered adding a pagan rite to the liturgy. Bishop Sepuka's past statements highlight interest in adding a bunga, a Zulu healer diviner practice into the Catholic faith and worship. Vatican City, LifeSite News. Pope Leo has appointed Bishop Sepuka as Archbishop of Cape Town, South Africa, after the prelate previously led a progressive ecumenical body and has advocated for the liturgical enculturation of a local pagan rite. On January 9th, Pope Leo appointed him as the Archbishop of Cape Town after his years of service as Bishop of Mathatha, president of the Southern African Catholic Bishops' Conference from 2019 to 2015, and president of the South African Council of Churches from 2024. In October 2024, Sepuka was elected president of the South African Council of Churches, et cetera, et cetera. You get the point. The SACC has been historically associated with leftist activism, and among its most internationally known leaders was pro-SKITTLES Anglican Archbishop Desmond Tutu. Desmond Tutu, the pro-SKITTLES Anglican Archbishop. Sepuka's election marked a significant movement for the council, given its presidency had previously been held by non-Catholics. So he joined non-Catholic groups to do leftist activism, basically. On June 22nd, 2025, Sepuka preached a homily at SACC as SACC president during an ecumenical prayer service called National Prayer Day for Healing and Reconciliation, held at Grace Bible Church. Going to preach about the Abunga right at the Grace Bible Church in Soweto, a Protestant congregation. According to Sepuka, divisions among Christians are due to the fact that dividing walls that seem so permanent to us are not permanent to God. Since the categories that define our conflicts, us and them, insider and outsider, deserving and undeserving, these are human constructions, not divine decrees. Furthermore, Sepuka appeared to reduce the Christian notion of redemption to a sociological meaning of liberation. So, liberation theology, here you go. Your liberation is tied to your neighbor's liberation. Your welfare is connected to your enemy's welfare. He also used Christianity to justify socialist political ideals. There cannot be reconciliation without transformation. True reconciliation demands structural change, transformation of our economy. You got to make that money, y'all. Give me your tithes. So wealth is shared more equitably. So commie, question mark, socialist, question mark. On July 3rd, 2025, Pope Leo appointed Sepuka as member of Vatican Dicastery for Interreligious Dialogue. In January 2023, while serving as president of the Southern African Catholic Bishops' Conference, Sepuka gave an interview to Radio Veritas that was later reported by ACI Africa. In that interview, he reflected on earlier efforts at enculturation in Catholic liturgy in South Africa, particularly those that took place in the 1980s. I don't know if you know about that, but there were a lot of crazy pagan liturgy nonsense that happened in the Roman Catholic Church in the 1980s. I mean, you're talking, you've got like shamans with no shirt on, like lady shamans with no shirt on next to the Pope, getting, smudging him with leaves and stuff. It's crazy. I cannot show those on YouTube for obvious reasons, but you're just going to have to trust me. The 1980s liturgical inclusion of like their like local culture stuff was crazy, insane. Anyway, liturgical enculturation seeks to introduce into the Roman Catholic Rite elements taken from local religious cultures that are foreign to and sometimes older than the Christian tradition. Older than the... What are you writing, dude? Such rituals are often linked to superstitious or polytheistic practices based on the belief that every culture can serve as an expression of worship to God. So religious indifferentism. This is what was done in the 1980s. And this is LifeSite News that's writing about this from a critical sense, but it's just stated as fact because this is what happened in the 1980s. They were doing these pagan masses. They were legitimately doing pagan masses in the 1980s. And this was all approved by the Pope. This is what was going on. You can go look it up. I've done compilation videos of Aztec masses in the Roman Catholic Church. I've done compilation videos of, I mean, it's insane. Some of the stuff I can't even show on YouTube. So go check that out. Look up like Amazonian Mass, 1980s Roman Catholic Church. You'll see some crazy stuff. However, Catholic liturgy does not belong to cultures, but to the church, and is directed not to man, but to God. Consequently, it is able to communicate, yada, yada, yada. He's basically griping on why they're doing this. Enculturation in terms of the liturgy was stronger in the 80s. Then it was stopped, Sapuka complained in the interview. We are doing liturgy as enculturated from those experiences. It is not developed. We're trying to understand it in its traditional context so we can see how we merge it with faith. So merge the pagan practices with the faith. He wants to do more of this crazy pagan nonsense mass that they were doing in the 1980s. The principle is that in culture, there are a lot of things that are good. So it's not, in our view, anything cultural must be thrown away. So all the pagan weirdness that the people in Africa are doing, we just keep it, dude. You want to do your like smudging practices where you're smudging to the, pagan god of baby sack. I don't want to say that and get the screen taken down, but you get the point. Do like smudging to the blood god or something. Craziness. In particular, Sapuka appeared to be interested in merging Catholic liturgy with the local rite of a bunga bunga, a traditional South African spiritual practice in which a person becomes a healer or diviner through channeling their ancestors. So he's like, I'm channeling Uncle Tommy. Uncle Tommy, fill my brain with your presence. And then, basically becomes a magic wizard or something. Now we're dealing with a bunga bunga, Sapuka said. We hope to complete the research by the end of the year. They're doing research on this peg. They got like the beakers and stuff. He's like pouring chemicals. It's like African archbishop is pouring chemicals in we're doing research. He's got his little glasses. He's focusing in. He's laser focusing in. How can I make this work? How can I make this work? Go and eat the grass. Go quickly. Go quickly. They go and they eat the grass in the lawn. Anyway, we hope to complete the research by the end of this year. And hopefully by next year, we can give some direction. So next year, you're going to see a bunga bunga ancestor channeling Roman Catholic rite in the Roman Catholic Church. So they'll be channeling ancestors. Uncle Larry, give me the power. Give me the power to heal this lady's leg, Uncle Larry. Anyway, you get the point. For quite some time, South African theologians have been trying to reinterpret this pagan practice in an effort to reconcile it with Catholic theology. For example, by rereading the vocation of the prophet Jeremiah as an experience that can be linked to a bunga bunga. So they want to be pagans, basically. I mean, there's not much more I can say about this, dude. There's not much more I can say about this. They want to channel their ancestors in the Roman Catholic Church. They want to channel their ancestors. These are the people that are getting promoted. This isn't even like fringe, weird nonsense. Like Pope Leo sitting there like, channeling your ancestors, you say. You're getting promoted, dude. I like that. You're getting promoted. I like the pagan mass. You're getting a promotion. Unaliving babies. you're going to head a dicastery. Yeah. Yeah. I like that a lot. Oh, Skittles, you're a cardinal. You're a cardinal, dude. I mean, that's what it seems like. It seems like the worst of the worst are the ones that are getting these appointments. Every single one of them. It's back to back to back to back. And it's rapid fire. Notice this is multiple times a week these people are being appointed. Rapid fire. Like not wasting any time. And this is stuff people aren't talking about. Nobody is talking about the amount of appointments to these positions that Pope Leo is making and the affiliations that these people have and the theology that they hold. These are the people that are going to be in leadership in the Roman Catholic Church. What is it going to look like in 10 years? It's going to be a crazy hellscape in the Roman Catholic Church. Wild, dude. Wild. Anyway, let's see. Look up Apache Christ icon. Weird story. I'll check that out later. I've got a lot to cover. Apache, I'll do that now. Why not? I'll just pull it up. I just pull it up. What is that? Now you got me here. What is this, dude? What is going on? Oh, let me share my screen. What am I looking at, bro? Look up Apache Christ. It's just like some, what the, dude? All right, I'll have to look up the story behind this, but I mean, I'm just going to assume this is just some weird syncretistic Roman Catholic thing. Because I've seen this before. I've seen like weird, not this particular one, but I've seen like weird, like they want to make Jesus Native American or make Jesus Chinese or make the Virgin Mary Mexican, like all of this stuff, right? Granted, that's a little different. It's like she appeared as Mexican people or something. Anyway, let's see. Here to assert a happy Australia Day to my kinsman. Hey, what's going on, Other Paul? Other Paul just released a book called The Right to Dissent. Interesting. I haven't read it at all, but if you're interested in that kind of political stuff, go check out his book, Other Paul. He was just on, gosh, what is that dude's name? The Reformed Baptist guy's channel, Joel Webbin. He was just on Joel Webbin's channel not that long ago. So, Other Paul, good to see you, dude. Good to see you, man. Here's one scream for you. People are getting sick of the scream. I don't know if I want to keep doing it. All right, Father Timothy Curran. Don't want to name names, but when my dad was at Catholic seminary in the 70s, he told me he once attended a mass that used iced coffee and donuts for the gifts. Lord of mercy. Iced coffee and donuts for the gifts. He didn't stick around after that. Good grief, dude. Well, you know what? I've seen videos where they did like it was like a Skittles, or not Skittles. It was a Sprite Eucharist at somebody's house or something. There was like the priest there. They had like the Sprite and they were doing the Eucharist with the Sprite. It was a Roman Catholic priest. I've seen that. Iced coffee and donuts for the gifts. Lord of mercy. That is crazy. Yeah, Lord of mercy. That's crazy. All right. I've got more stories to cover. Let me pull this up. These have already been wild, but believe it or not, they get wilder. So this one, a lot of Roman Catholics were going pretty wild on X yesterday and the day before. Maybe it was 2 or 3 days ago, but they were sharing a post from a Fordham University group, okay, that was trying to do some kind of quote unquote Orthodox Skittles meeting or something. It was like 4 Orthodox Skittles people, yada, yada, yada. So the Roman Catholics were sharing this and they were like, oh, the Orthodox, they're finally just like us. Like basically that's what they were saying. They're finally experiencing our pain with all this Skittles stuff. But wait a minute. Something a little fishy about that. I don't know if you know this. Fordham University is a Roman Catholic Jesuit university that has some very interesting ties. So this is a Roman Catholic university trying to infiltrate and subvert the Orthodox Church. So let's dive into that. I'm going to pull up a couple of pieces here to talk about this, and we'll break this down in detail. I put a whole post on X breaking down their ties to the CIA and other institutions as well. So this was from Father Michael Lilly. This is the original post. Let's check out the original post actually first. From this guy here, Skittles Orthodox Christians exist. So do their families and friends. That's why Fordham Orthodox is hosting a weekend in New York City focused on critical questions, prayer, and community. The event is free and open to the public. For more information and registration, contact the quote unquote Orthodox Christian Studies Center at Fordham University. At first glance, people are like, oh, it says the word Orthodox. What's going on here? Time to panic. We've got this weird conference at this college. What's going on here? Roman Catholics were sharing this as a own all over X the other day. Here's Talon Papist, the 15-year-old apologetics prodigy. It's all finally starting to hit orthodoxy. It took some time, but they're finally just as Skittles as we are. That's their goal. They want us to be just as Skittles as they are. I mean, they celebrate when this happens. They're like, yes, they're Skittles just like us. We want to make Christianity just as Skittles as us. Yes, this is a win. This is the position they're taking. Catholic primer, ortho bro, you just don't understand, bro. Our ecclesiology literally allows this without being falsified, unlike yours. Deus ex machina ecclesiology. So they're sharing this as some kind of a win. But wait a minute. What is Fordham University? And what is the Orthodox Christian Studies Center? Let's take a look. Is this a Roman Catholic win? Well, it depends on the view you take. Is this a win for the Roman Catholic Church? Let's look at what Father Michael Lilly has to say, and then I'll break this down in detail. Their ties, their background, what this Fordham University group actually is, and is this actually something sanctioned by the church? What is this? Let's break it down. Father Michael Lilly shares, everyone be aware. This is coming from a Roman Catholic Jesuit university, which tries to subvert orthodoxy with its liberal acolytes. Jesuits have been subverting orthodoxy for centers via the Unia and continues today. So Father Michael Lilly caught this. He caught this very quickly. He said, this isn't Orthodox. This is a Roman Catholic group trying to make orthodoxy just as Skittles as they are. This sounds like clown world stuff, but that's exactly what's going on. Fordham University is a Roman Catholic institution. You know what? Let me see if I could share that post I had, because I shared a screenshot a little while ago from Fordham's page, basically explaining who they are. And then I want to break it down in more detail. Let me pull this up real quick because I didn't bookmark it, but I'm sure I can find it. I'm sure I can find that post now. Here you go. All right, cool. Let me share this and we'll dive into it. All right, this is from Fordham's page here. I say, quote, begin quote, Roman Catholic universities are trying to make the Orthodox Skittles just like us. Checkmate, ortho bro. We're trying to make you Skittles. We got you. No, they try to say. Anyway, Fordham University, living the mission. As both Catholic and Jesuit in identity, Fordham University draws a great deal of its inspiration from both these rich and lively traditions. Fostered by this dual heritage, Fordham gives special attention to the tradition of Catholicism. Okay, so this is a Roman Catholic university. All right, but wait a minute. What's going on with this weird Orthodox studies group? What is this? What is this group? Is this actually something Orthodox? Is this sanctioned by the church? What is this? What is this going on with this? Let's take a look at it. I'm going to pull up a thread that I created on X that goes super in depth. This is key information. This is stuff you need to know. This is geopolitical subversion. This is State Department subversion. Okay, so not only is this a Roman Catholic university, the ties that these people have will blow your mind. Okay, a thread. For those that aren't aware, and I talk about public orthodoxy too, because they're tied to Fordham University. So all the quote unquote liberals that you see with the name of Orthodox, most of these people publish for public orthodoxy. Okay, this is not an Orthodox institution. This is a Fordham University front. Okay. A thread, for those that aren't aware, public orthodoxy is a Fordham University project with deep CIA ties. The goal of this organization is to spread disinformation in an attempt to shift public perception towards greater acceptance of liberal axioms within orthodoxy. Here's from Public Orthodoxy's website, quote unquote, Public Orthodoxy. The Orthodox Christian Studies Center. Whoa, that was just hosting that event? Wait a minute. Of Fordham University funds, facilitates, and publishes scholarly research on a wide variety of topics related to the thought, culture of Orthodox Christianity. So it's a Roman Catholic institution publishing about Orthodoxy. This isn't an Orthodox program. This is a Roman Catholic university publishing about the subject of Orthodoxy. So when they do these events, it's Roman Catholics trying to make the Orthodox Church more like this, okay? And they'll try to find people who are quote unquote Orthodox that hold to similar beliefs, and then they'll prop them up and they'll make them writers for this this journalistic outlet, Public Orthodoxy. Okay. Public Orthodoxy is a public-facing initiative of the Orthodox Christian Centers in Orthodox Christian Studies Center. In fall of 2015, the center launched Public Orthodoxy as an editorial forum for scholars to comment on the issues of contemporary concern. So it's not clergy. This is just people that happen to be liberal that align with this Roman Catholic university that are basically doing the bidding of this university. So let's dive into it. Fordham has long had many public-facing ties to the CIA, including employing the CIA's former chief, John Brennan, who currently serves in their National Security Division. This is from an article I pulled this from. Former CIA chief John Brennan named Distinguished Fellow at Fordham Center on National Security. You can't get much more connected than that. I mean, literally having the former CIA chief on staff at your university. But just in case that's not enough for you, I have more information here. They're not so publicized, so the CIA has to do with their funding. Much of their funding comes directly from the Luce Foundation, which is implicated in several declassified CIA funding schemes. So what happens when you have these universities, a lot of the times what they teach is dictated by who they're funded by. So if you want to see what they're going to teach, if you want to see what they're going to push, check who's giving them funding, who's granting the scholarships, who's granting the grants to these universities. This is the Luce Foundation. This is declassified. This is one example of a declassified document that implies loose funding to the CIA. This is an older document, 1980s. Anyway, I'm not going to go through the whole document, but you get the point. I've highlighted where the Luce Foundation is included. If you want to read this in more detail, go follow me on the X page and you can look at this thread here. The Luce Foundations, Henry Luce III Theology Fellows. By the way, Henry Luce himself had major CIA ties, major CIA ties. Requires that all receiving funding make their work accessible to a broader audience. So they want to be inclusive. You have to be an inclusive author, writing on inclusive topics to receive grants from them. And we're involved and funded the 2019 Oxford Conference on Orthodox Christianity, basically being a degenerate, and public policy, which, while not officially sanctioned, it's not sanctioned by the church at all, was a thinly veiled attempt to push SKITTLES acceptance on the church. This is a Roman Catholic institution funded by CIA tied NGOs, basically, CIA or foundations rather, that are pushing for this kind of liberalization of orthodoxy. Continuing on. Sarah Riccardi Swartz, who has published through Fordham, states the mission very clearly on her own website: to push back against the hegemony of patriarchal Christianity and to transform it through a feminist lens. In other words, the aim is to subvert church teaching. This is someone who publishes for Public Orthodoxy. This is somebody with Fordham University ties, and they state the mission right there. Push back against patriarchal Christianity, transform it through a feminist lens. That's pretty much it. I mean, that's the mission. They state it very clearly. This is from her own website. Within conservative forms of Christianity, such as Eastern Orthodoxy, women's roles have historically been monitored and minimized. So she wants to push for feminism. With institutional hierarchs silencing the voices of women and members of the SKITTLES community. What does it mean to be a progressive female activist in a church? So she's an activist. She's a subversive. In a church that historically refuses to acknowledge her equality. So she hates the church. How will conservative Christianity be transformed by women who are leading the way to create a new status quo in the Orthodox Church, one that focuses on inclusivity and intersectionality, This project will reveal how Orthodox feminist activists are pushing back against the hegemony of patriarchal Christianity. They don't like patriarchy. So what? I mean, Scripture literally lays out the structure of the church, lays out the structure of the family, right? So, I mean, you just push back against Scripture, you push back against God the Father. What's the deal here? Anyway, seeking not to upend tradition, but to transform it, even through socio-religious transgression. So they spill the beans there, basically. So this is a writer and author for Public Orthodoxy, Fordham ties. Fordham is a Roman Catholic Jesuit university. That should say enough. Fordham is a Roman Catholic Jesuit university, but they have ties to the CIA, and the CIA really likes to subvert church institutions. Anyway, I wrap it up by saying it should also be noted that in addition to her Fordham ties, Sarah is also a writer for Public Orthodoxy. So there you have it. You have this subversive group that is attempting to subvert the Orthodox Church. Who's behind the subversion? Well, it's a Roman Catholic Church. The Roman Catholic Church wants to make us just as skittles as they are, and they're doing this also through their CIA ties, which is where the funding is coming from. CIA ties to the Luce Foundation. Luce Foundation is funding Public Orthodoxy, which is a Fordham University, basically subversive group. Fordham University is a Roman Catholic university. So, long story short, Roman Catholic Church has this university. The university that's Roman Catholic wants to try to make Orthodoxy more liberal, just like the Roman Catholic churches. But we're not going to let them. We're going to call it out, just like we're doing right now. So you've got the Roman Catholics that are like, this is an own for the Orthodox. Orthodoxy is defeated. Don't you know this? The Orthodox are becoming skittles just like us. And what makes me laugh is like, I'll just leave a comment. It's like immediately ratios them. So he's got 62 likes on this thing, 151. I just call it out. So this is a Roman Catholic university pushing Skittles ideology to the Orthodox. Also see below. So I'm like, dude, this is your church doing this. This is your church trying to make this happen. This isn't an own. This is you self-reporting, right? This is you self-reporting. Same thing with Talon. It's all finally starting to hit Orthodoxy. It took some time, but they're finally in the same position where it. No, dude, this is your church trying to make this happen. This is your Skittles hierarchs trying to make this happen. And I left the same comment. 41 to 158. I don't know why. That just makes me laugh. But anyway, yeah. So, dude, this is a Roman Catholic university. So anyway, anytime you see, go ahead and check that out on X, by the way. It's a good thread. Check that out. If you see someone trying to push this narrative that this is like some kind of Orthodox group, it's not. These are Roman Catholics doing this. This is a Roman Catholic university trying to subvert the Orthodox Church. People need to be made aware of this. And then if you see people who are publishing stuff like this, go and look if are they an author on Public Orthodoxy. You can see where their ties are. You can see where they're getting their funding, and you can see what their goal is. So super important. This is key information to know. Make sure to check that out because that is key information. All right, let's see. Father Timothy says the Fordham Orthodox Center is as Orthodox as Fordham is Catholic. Yeah. Well, you know, the Jesuits have a history of subversion. That would be an interesting topic for a live stream for sure. But thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it. All right, let's continue. We have to convert the Catholics. Yes, we do. You know what? There was a post. I didn't save this, but I'm going to pull this up anyway because I thought it was kind of funny. So an old Roman Catholic friend of ours, popped up in a scandalous picture, a very scandalous picture of some ecumenism stuff going on. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, so this was Anthony shared this. Let me share my screen real quick. So Anthony shared this here on X, which I like Anthony. Anthony's a cool guy. He's a trad cat. I've had him on the show before. He's a cool dude. But you know, sometimes he pushes back on the orthodoxy thing. He says, "Ortho bros so mad about this." Anyway, here's the post. Last night, Greek Orthodox Metropolitan joined me in leading our communities in solemn vespers at St. Pius Church in Redwood City during the week of prayer for Christian unity. This is the 20th anniversary of shared prayer between our archdiocese and the Orthodox. So this is a relatively new thing. 20 years of the basically the Greeks and Roman Catholics praying together, doing some kind of prayer service, which really they shouldn't be doing. I could go into the topic of ecumenism in detail. Again, this isn't reflective of every Greek priest you meet. This isn't reflective of every Greek Orthodox person you meet. This is just something that happens that's very unfortunate. Should probably stop. But people were rightly calling it out. We're frustrated with this. Anthony comments, Ortho Bros so mad about this. But there's something interesting about these pictures here. I'm going to scroll through and let's see if you can see what it is. Okay, so what's interesting about this? So take a look. Take a look at this. See if you see anybody you recognize. Do you recognize it? Let me see. Let me check the chat. Yeah, somebody saw it. Somebody saw it. Let's see if anybody else gets it. Yeah, you're absolutely correct. Iron Inquisitor. Iron Inquisitor is in this picture. That's Iron Inquisitor right there, the Roman Catholic YouTuber that quit to become a priest. So I posted under this. I said, Iron Inquisitor, get out of there. I shared with the Breaking Bad meme. So Iron Inquisitor is in this like ecumenist meeting. I kind of feel bad. Because he didn't seem like a bad kid or anything, but I mean, just think about some of the stuff we've covered on this show, the last 4 episodes, regarding things that are going on amongst the Roman Catholic clergy. So, gosh, dude, I couldn't imagine. I mean, he gave up a lot. He had over 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. He's pretty prominent. You know, was probably making a decent living off of it. Was gaining traction. Was probably at the height of his YouTube career. And then he leaves to become a Roman Catholic priest, probably hoping that it's going to be like a very holy experience. He's going to be around people who are super locked in. And then one of his first assignments is this like ecumenist meeting. And then I can only imagine what he's experiencing in the background. If you remember that one documentary that we covered this last episode that was like 80% of Roman Catholic clergy are skittles. Pray, all joking aside, because this actually makes me sad. All joking aside, pray for Iron Inquisitor. Pray for this dude. That God protects him. But also pray for him to come to the truth. But pray that God protects him, please. Because, I mean, the stuff that we read and report on in this show that's going on in the Roman Catholic Church week after week after week, I can only imagine, dude. In the seminaries, because he's a seminarian right now. In the seminaries especially, I can only imagine. So keep him in your prayers. Lord, protect him. Send your angels to guard him. But yeah. Prayers for Iron. Yeah, exactly. Lord of mercy. All right, let's continue on. So we see our friend Iron Inquisitor. Iron Inquisitor, run! Get out of there! Run! Get out of this ecumenist meeting. Please run! All right, let's see. What else do I have? I have a lot. I'll see if what do I want to get into before I get into the Sam Shamoun craziness? Because that was wild. You know what? I'll go ahead and I'll cover it now. Let's cover the Sam Shamoun. Let's do a little Sam Shamoun stuff. So what brought me? So this is the craziest story of this entire stream. Okay, so this involves Sam Shamoun, William Albrecht, and Divine Mercy apologetics. I was actually this guy brought this to my attention. So Talon Papist, the rising star, by the way, of Roman Catholic apologetics, the rising star of Roman Catholic apologetics, this 15-year-old that people are promoting as an apologist that should not be online. The dude should be like, I don't know, doing his homework at home. But they're promoting him. They're making him do debates and things like this. He shouldn't be doing that. But anyway, you get the point. He shares this. Okay, this is how I catch wind of this. Catholic apologist, patristic pillars, whose real name is William Albrecht, friends of many and helped many with the faith, has sadly become a manifest heretical liar. So Talon is now the arbiter of who is a heretic. But anyway, William Albrecht claimed that Roman Catholic apologists, Divine Mercy Apologetics, had a Skittles account and was in his tighty whities showing himself to these people here. I don't want to say it on stream. I don't want to get the stream taken down. So take a moment, read that. He was in his tidy whities showing himself to these people. That's the claim by William Albrecht, okay, about divine mercy apologetics. He's a Roman Catholic apologist. What is going on in Roman Catholic apologetics land? Okay, even that this is a claim is wild. Okay, I don't know if it's true. I'm not going to say that this is true, but this is what William Albrecht said, apparently. Okay. Anyway, before fact-checking anything of this, William Albrecht sources, he went on exposing an innocent man who did no wrong. So Talon's saying this dude is innocent. William Albrecht is just crashing out, lying. He's a heretic. He's saying that this guy is, doing things that he's not, so on and so forth. The claims were refuted by Divine Mercy Apologetics, Wayne and Joey. Watch here. And then he links to this video. So if you want to look at more information on this, I guess you can go watch the Divine Mercy explanation video to get one side of it. And then if you want, you can check out the William Albrecht thing to check out the other side of it. But there's been a couple of streams on this already. I know Sam Shamoun has brought up some of that. We're going to cover some of that here in a moment. Sam Shamoun's mixed up in this as well. So let's see what Sammy had said about it. I'm going to pull up the screen here. Yeah. Where are his parents? Yeah, that Talon Papist dude needs to get off the internet, to be honest. That Talon Papist guy needs to just get off the internet. But that's where I saw it from. He posted that. I knew he was going to delete it. So I screenshotted it. I just DM'd it to myself. So I know he's going to regret posting this. So I'm going to screenshot this thing. Anyway, let's take a look. I'm going to pull up YouTube and I'm going to go to Sam Shamoun's posts because Sam Shamoun talks about this as well. So let's dive into it. So this is Sam Shamoun's community tab here. Let me zoom in so y'all can actually see. This session provides receipts and facts which explain why I no longer work or associate with William Albrecht. Sam Shamoun and William Albrecht. William Albrecht was like the last dude that was still doing streams with Sam Shamoun. So now he's like officially cut off everyone that he's worked with in the past. He's going to have to start scraping the bottom of the barrel to find new people to associate with. Because I guess, I don't know, everybody that he associates with in the past, he like burns bridges, it seems like. Anyway, pray for Sam. Obviously something's going on. But anyway, this explains why I no longer work or associate with William Albrecht. Watch it and be ready to get heartbroken and extremely angry at the lies and injustices that were carried out. So this is Divine Mercy Apologetics calling out William Albrecht, who said that basically William Albrecht made the claim that Divine Mercy Apologetics was doing some nasty stuff online with, stuff that would get you in prison, basically. So those are some pretty big claims, dude. Those are some big claims. Now, I don't know the truth of it. Okay? I'm not judge, jury, executioner. That's not me. I'm just reporting on what's being said. All right? So these are other people's opinions. So don't get confused and say, I'm making claims here. I don't know what is going on in this situation. This is just crazy. This is just insane. But this is just another week in Roman Catholic news. 1 week. Mind you, 1 week. That's it. This has been a week. All right. Let's dive into it. I want to look at Sam Shamoun. He did a stream and he starts talking about this a little bit. I'm going to pull up that. We're going to watch just a little bit of his stream. His streams are so long. It's like 3-hour live stream on a subject that could take 10 minutes, but we'll watch a little bit of it and I'll stop and I'll give some commentary. But let me check the chat real quick just to make sure I didn't miss anything. Just this. Average Redhead, $2. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it. By the way, if you want to support the show, help me reach the super chat goal. I really appreciate y'all's support. It helps me continue to make streams just like this, covering the latest in Roman Catholic news. I also do interviews and things like that. So if you like the channel, go ahead and subscribe. All right, let's take a look. I'm going to look at the chat real quick. What are y'all's thoughts on this? Like the stream. That's right. Like the stream. Let's get more people in the live stream chat to check this out. That would be wild. If Cleve was judge, he'd have one of those wigs covering up the bald. Look, okay? Look. I'm going to take what Father Peter here said the last time he was on the show. He said, well, you know, you're in a good club as somebody who's balding, because look at all of the saints on the iconostasis, okay? All of the saints up there. A lot of them, they got the receding hairline. So, you know, just saying. Saint maxing over here with the receding hairline. No, I'm just kidding. That's funny. Yeah, cope maxing. It's over. Oh, dude, it's over. Yeah, you're right. I am coping. That's true. The orb's energy has been going crazy. Yeah, that's true. That's true. All right, let's take a look. Oh, what is Sam in the chat or something? Somebody said, is that Sam Shamoun? Hi, Sam. Is Sam in the chat? I don't think so. No, I don't think Sam is in the chat. Somebody's just saying that he's on the screen. All right, so let's take a look at this. So this was Sam Shamoun calling out William Albrecht, I guess. Again, I'm not making any assertions. I'm just showing you what people are saying about this. Okay, yeah, Sam's streaming. Okay, great. Sam, if you want to pop in and say something, I don't care. But anyway, let's take a look at this. So Sam is calling out William Albrecht, what's going on with the situation and why he no longer associates with him, which is wild because they were doing streams all the time together. I think it was like the last person Sam was actually partnering with pretty regularly was William Albrecht, which I tried, by the way, to get a debate set up with Alex and William. I don't know whatever happened to that. But yeah, let's take a look.
Go watch Divine Mercy Apologetics stream. It took over 3 weeks in the making. Go watch it. It's right here. All right. Let me give you the gist of what happened so I can come to the sister's defense, because she was betrayed as well and thrown under the bus. All right. Several weeks ago, I was sent photos by William where Divine Mercy was accused of being a closet homosexual. Okay? And they sent what William told me was from Grindr. Other people say it's not Grindr. He told me it was Grindr. I looked at the photos.
So basically, to start off, the accusation, I guess, from William Albrecht's side is that Divine Mercy Apologetics is Skittles. He's sending pictures. He's doing this kind of degenerate stuff.
I was troubled. William told me it's clearly him. The people have brought this forward. They have a lot more. So that was the first accusation. Second accusation, that Divine Mercy was...
He told me... that's so funny. He told me it was Grindr. I looked at the photos. Oh, that would be a good soundbite. that would be a good soundbite. Oops, I didn't mean to take that off the screen. Let me go back to the... You guys throw me off. See, you guys are so funny, dude. You just throw me off. All right, let me see. Oh, I closed out of the... You made me laugh so hard, I exited out of the video. All right, let me go back. Let me see if I can find it again and go back to the same timestamp. That's funny. He said it was on Grindr, so I was looking at the photos. Oh, good grief, dude. Okay. We're back. We're back in business. Let me share the screen again. Gosh. All right, let's check this out.
I was troubled. William told me it's clearly him. The people have brought this forward. They have a lot more. So that was the first accusation. Second accusation, that Divine Mercy was flashing women on his whatever platform it was, and that the women were complaining that Divine Mercy is very harsh and cruel with them. This is William telling me this. I'm now in shock. Yeah, it's dark because I'm not playing it, dude. What, do you want me to play it? Here. That make you happy now? Okay, so now I'm in shock. And then William told me that one of the women, you know her, it's your mod, Joro, reach out to her. This is where this girl gets betrayed, okay? I'm coming to tell you she is not the guilty party here. So I'm coming to set the record straight for her. Are you listening? I have to set the record straight for this sister. Okay, yes. She has some beef with Divine. Divine has some beef with her. But she never reached out to me. The women never reached out to me.
I'm gonna put this a little sped up because he talks so slow. He just says like a bunch of words that he just could explain it in like no time at all. But he just says, he's like, and I walked to the store, and as I was walking, I saw, wait, this lady, by the way, she's a nurse. This nurse woman, wonderful woman of God, is a nurse. She's a wonderful woman. She has 5 kids. She's got a dog, a parakeet, 2 homes, one in Miami, one in New York. Wonderful woman of God. Love her so much. Her father is my uncle. I saw her next to me in the parking lot. And by the way, this parking lot I was at 5 years ago with my grandmother, picking up blueberries from the bushes off the curb of the parking lot. Like, just, dude, get to the point, man. Brevity.
William told me the women were complaining. Joro, one of your mods, knows, so she's here. She'll tell you if I'm lying. I reached out to Joro on WhatsApp. She talked to me and I said, what's the story of Divine Mercy? She was taken aback. She wasn't expecting it. She said, who told you? I go, William told me. Now this sister now becomes the target because the women complained to her. She went to William to complain with what the woman said. That's it. She never publicly attacked DMA. She never went around.
Good grief, dude. Get to the point.
Sharing photos. The photos didn't even come from her. See, she's right here. The photos didn't come from her. It was some guys that sent the photos. She thought, being a good sister, that the women came to her, she would go for it to William. Okay? She's right here. Right here. The only reason why I gave Divine Mercy those text messages, because William said to Joey Kesto, Sam knows about it. The woman came to Sam. They told Sam. He threw me under the bus and said, I'm the one who told him that the woman came to me and complained.
This is such a convoluted story. So it's like, the woman said to him that I said to her, that William said to me, that someone else said to me, that you said to me, that this, that this. The woman said that I said, but now that you said me, now we have a problem. Now I'm exposing you and I'm destroying your entire life. Now that you said me, now that this is a problem for me and my brand, I'm destroying you. Basically what's going on here. So let's continue.
A lie from the pit of hell. So I sent them the text messages between William and I sent them the messages where I'm reaching out to Joe Roll because none of them reached out to me. None of them. None of them. None of them said anything publicly. This was something in their group and they brought it to William. But last night, in front of Joe Roll, he threw her under the bus again. So she made a comment saying, Sam reached out to me, capital M-E. She's telling him in his dream, he reached out to me. We didn't reach out to him. So he threw her under the bus. Okay? You got it now? Why I have to take a minute to explain for this poor sister who's now been made the accuser?
Oh, I will. I'll go through a little bit of his stream too. I'll go through because at least his has slides, so we can kind of skip around a little bit and get the gist of his side of the story. But yeah, I'll look a little bit at what Sam said and then we'll jump over into that. And then I'll look at what William said, just so you can get all 3 perspectives. Because I'm not making any claims on what's going on here. I'm just reporting on what's going on.
Are you with me there? So she never reached out to me. None of these women reached out to me, and I don't even know who the women are. I don't care to know. I don't want to know. And they never shared this publicly. I reached out to her. Why? Because William told me women are complaining, and I went to her to name because he hasn't been mentioned publicly. I won't mention his name. He said that William said he'd be more than happy to come up because in the email said, I would love to see you and Sam before basically he passes away. Yeah, this what happened last night. You've been away, brother. There's a video. All right. He wanted to see me. So William says, yeah, Sam and I will be more than happy to come. Now watch how bad it gets. William sent him, I guess, a picture.
All right, I'm going to slow this down because this speed up is kind of annoying, but it sounds like he's about to get into the actual meat of it. So let's take a look.
Picture of, or what it was, because I saw it, of the cost to fly out, $1,500. The German man said,
all right, hold on. Let me catch you up in case you're just tuning in. If you're just tuning in, we're talking about the Sam Shamoun, William Albrecht, Divine Mercy Apologetics drama. Basically, William Albrecht claimed Divine Mercy Apologetics was taking pictures of himself and his underwear and sending this to people on the internet, basically. Claimed that he was Skittles or something along those lines. That's the claim about what William has said about Divine Mercy Apologetics. So Sam is coming out and saying that William Albrecht is a liar and that all of that stuff is made up or something. So you have one side claiming Divine Mercy Apologetics is doing ABC 1, 2, 3. You have the other side saying, no, that's not the case. So let's take a look.
sent him 2,000 USA dollars for the ticket and to stay at a hotel room. The last he heard from William was June. Now what's...
Yeah, Sam is burning another bridge, yes. So he's no longer streaming with William Albrecht now, he says.
It's the month today. It's January. That's the last he heard from William. Cut him off. Never returned his emails. Never told him why. He never showed up. Now guess what happens? Daniel Kakish, I talked to him today. Daniel Kakish, I talked to him today. Now watch. After Divine Mercy brought the receipts, okay? Brought the receipts from the German man. William contacted Daniel Kakish, told Daniel Kakish he refunded the man's money, but the guy never told him he wanted his money back. Do you see the excuse? He just implicated himself, brethren. William told Daniel, I returned the man's money, but he never told me he wanted it back. Can you believe that? This man has not repented. You with me there? This man has not repented. Notice when he sends the money back, when he's exposed. Why did he wait all this time to send the money back? And secondly, what do you mean? What do you mean? He never asked you for the money back. When he gave you the money to fly out and you cut off ties with the man.
Anyway, now he's kind of getting off topic. And then I think he goes into a Bible study or something. So, all right, whatever. That's kind of weird. Why would you do why would you do a drama stream and then go into a Bible study? All right. Anyway, yeah. So we've got Sam and his orbs attacking William Albrecht. William Albrecht is attacking Divine Mercy Apologetics. What is going on in Roman Catholic apologetics land? I want to take a look at that Divine Mercy dude's stream because he had a, let me go here. I'm going to pull up Divine Mercy's stream. So he's like, the stream I did not want to make. So he's doing some kind of expose refuting William Albrecht's claims of him basically being a Skittles dude exposing himself on the internet or something. Crazy, crazy story, man. All right, so this is, I'm going to skip around. This is from Divine Mercy's channel. Again, I'm not making any claims as to what's true, what's not. I'm just telling you what's going on. So let's see if I can skip forward a little bit. I'm just going to go to one of his slides because this had multiple slides. All right, so let's go to where they're starting to address it.
This is not even 30% of the evidence, maybe 40% of the evidence. There's so much here, guys, that it would be a 10-hour live if we put it all. So let's begin. This story is very difficult to address. I do not like scandal. I had hoped that William Albrecht and co. or et al. Would have done what is right. Albrecht has on multiple occasions.
I might speed up his voice here. Let me look at the super chats here. Some people sent in super chats. 40 Crush, $2. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you supporting the stream. Thank you so much. I'll give you one scream, and I'll look at maybe replacing the sound effect in the future. All right, let's see. Why does Sam look like he's always caught in the gaze of the orphatic vision? I don't know, man. The orbs are going crazy. All right, if you want to help me reach a super chat goal, I super appreciate it. We got to go on this stream. I appreciate your support. I'm going to dive into this, but I might speed this up a little bit. I don't know why. What is it? What is up with Roman Catholic YouTubers and being super long-winded? When I was doing apologetic stuff, like actual apologetic stuff, I'd make my videos like 10 minutes long. It doesn't take that much. You know, if you want to grow on YouTube, don't make your videos like freaking 3 hours long. 10 minutes. You want people to clip your stuff? 10 minutes, super short, 15 minutes. Practice brevity. This is why Alex Soren's doing really well right now, because he's, you know, he's pretty good at making things succinct. Let's see. All right, we'll go to 1.5.
Asians denied reconciliation, and thus this now needs to be public. They have attempted to lord fabricated lies and these malfeasances over me to attempt to intimidate while they pop champagne. This needs to be addressed not just for my sake, but for the sake of any party involved with these individuals. If it can be done to me, it can be done to anyone. People should know who Albrecht is and who Albrecht surrounds himself with, and who he's willing to defend even to the point of legalities. He has condemned me, exonerated me, and has been indifferent all in the same one breath. He has attempted to coerce me and my ministry with claims he has admitted are baseless. He protects.
It's basically just saying he's a liar. All right, let's continue. Reasons why he's doing this. I don't care. All right, this is where.
And we're not.
So this is the chronology. This is what happened.
Gonna dox. But your initials are MS. Okay. Your priest's initials are MB. We know everything. This is the Grindr account they made. Kudos.
So they're saying this is a fake Grindr account with somebody that looks like this guy. That's what he's saying. He's saying this Grindr account of him is fake or something. So let's see what his claim is.
To them for looking for someone who looks like me. The video of the Grindr was forged on the 27th of December 2025, the same day it was presented to me. Okay. Interestingly enough, the accuser must be homosexual. The person who filmed the video could already follow or message the...
Wait. Catch this, because when I was watching this the first time, this part made me like, oh, what do you say? Listen to what he says. Listen to his explanation here. I'm not making any claims, but this gives me a little pause. Take a look.
Same day it was presented to me. Okay.
I'm actually going to slow this down so you can hear exactly what he says. Okay. This is what he says as part of his evidence.
Interestingly enough, the accuser must be homosexual. The person who filmed the video could already follow or message the account, meaning they already had set up a Grindr profile.
Okay. He's saying he knows how the account works. He knows how Grindr works because he knows in the app that you can't this screen doesn't pop up until you already follow them. Now, if you'd never used the app before, how would you know that that's how the app works? I'm just saying, look, I'm not saying anything, but that was the first thought that came into my mind. Again, this could all be fake. It might be fake. Some people are saying it's fake, but that comment, I'm just saying, okay? I'm not making any claims. I want to be very careful. I'm not making any claims, but that makes me go, huh? Wait a minute. You know how the app works, dude?
This is how far they went to damage my name. Wayne, I think you should speak.
Yeah, so guys, as you can see, absolutely crazy accusations. So someone went to the extent of trying to frame James by ostensibly claiming that he was a homosexual that had an account registered onto this application called Grindr, which many of you probably know is an account that's kind of like Tinder, but it's the reverse. So it's for homosexuals to essentially meet. It's a dating app, essentially. Now, what the person did is they created two accounts. So they had their own account, and then they created a forged account in James's name, right? So what they did is the account that they had themselves, not only could they follow the account of the one that they made of James, but they also had particular things set up that don't have to be for a regular account. For example, if you look on the video that they sent and when they were scrolling, they did multiple personality tests, which are optional to make an account on Grindr, meaning they've actually set up the account. They've gone beyond the basic or standard extent and they've set up their own account in which they can match with other homosexual men in terms of personality, interests, all of those.
So you're saying the guy must have known, the guy must be super in depth with his knowledge of this platform in order to make this happen, basically. It's one of his pieces of evidence. But you know how the platform works, dude. You know what it looks like when you follow someone on the app. So wait, you know how the app works? You know what it looks like when you follow someone on the app? Well, this button doesn't pop up until you follow someone. So how do you know that? That's my question. All right, anyway.
To a Grindr account,
They're saying, can somebody view a profile by mirror research? So could you just find it if you were like randomly going through? I don't really care, dude. How could they have found this account? This is like what he's talking about. How could they have found this? How could they have found this account? This is a unique username. How do they find the account? Either through the images they found in Facebook and doing reverse image search, or through his name. Okay, I don't really care, dude. The many contradictions of the forgers.
I just want you guys to know that I'm always being plotted on. I'm always being plotted on. Now, watch.
All right, so this is absolutely hilarious. So, guys, remember how I said that they couldn't actually view the page behind of James's actual face because the account wasn't set up in terms of them uploading photos? So the only image that they could have viewed was the front page. Now, look at James's face right now, and look at the guy's face, right? What they thought is, logically, he's got a beard. He looks like, I guess, from an ethnic background, so therefore we might get away with putting it. But don't worry, because we have reverse face image search. The person on the front of that is a man, Sunil, lives in India, Sunil Aswani. We have his Pinterest.
Hey, we got Rachel Wilson in the chat. $5. Thank you so much. Not Leather Daddy Albrecht and Scam Shamoun having a falling out over another Skittles Roman Catholic Tinder scandal. Who would have known? Who would have known? It's not like there are documentaries stating 80% of the clergy are Skittles or anything like this. That's just crazy, dude. This is a wild situation. I mean, granted, nothing should shock you at this point, but this is really weird.
We have his LinkedIn. We have everything. And his Pinterest, we'll get to it later, will show the exact like matching of the photo that they've put on that Grindr profile to his literal Pinterest profile. So without a doubt, it has to be a fabrication. They literally stole an image from his Pinterest profile and did that. Now, the second contradiction is this. When I first, because I wanted to check into the accusations about James, right? So Joey and I were on a call. We were saying, Joey was like, I'll just have a look through his Facebook. So I literally scrolled through everything. All of their accusations, crap. Couldn't see a single thing that would point towards it. And James has all of his family as well on Facebook. So it'd be implausible that he was putting anything out there. But the second contradiction.
All right. Let me see what else. All right. So we're getting up on the William Albrecht part. I don't really care. They ramble too much. These people need to practice brevity. They're too long-winded. Like, all right, so this is why, because he's a time traveler and he went back in time and he found a face that looks like my face and he copied it. And then he put it in the platform. And then he typed up this diabolical description. And it was so in-depth and detailed. And they had to know how the platform works. So I spent 8 days on Grindr researching this to find out that this was a fake. Okay. After viewing 5,000 accounts on Grindr for 24 hours a day straight. All right. We went for like 8 days, 24 hours a day, scrolling through Grindr to figure this out. Okay. Like, just get to the point, dude. This is a 4-hour live stream. How do you stream about this for 4 hours, bro? How much time do you have to spend on this platform to stream about this for 4 hours? It's ridiculous, dude.
So concerned about people doxing him. All it took was Telos getting relatively close, and then, oh, wait a minute, why did he get so upset about that? Is he actually a tow truck driver? Well, there's his area code phone number right there. Oh, there are only 5 tow truck drivers in that area. One of them is of Middle Eastern descent. Oh, look at that. Hey, Glory, have you ever seen DMA with his mask off? Glory, yeah, I've seen it with his mask off. Is this the person that you saw? Yes, not only is that the person, Glory sends the picture. Oh, we have a collaboration. It's absolutely him. And then it comes, oh, look at his Facebook.
You guys better not clip that out of context. Good grief. It's over. It's over for me.
Account. Oh, there's his Grindr profile, his gay dating profile. Let's click on that. What does it say? Messages. Arabian, Lebanese, looking dudes in rainbow suspenders. Telling Justin, DMA, That he look hot. That he look hot. And what is his response?
Dude, are they reading are they reading DMs from this Skittles platform right now? Is that what they're doing?
Hit me up, daddy. His response is, hit me up, daddy. Man, you know, you can really only give so much benefit of the doubt before collaboration. What do you do? Are we going to really allow this to destroy William's ministry? I'm not going to.
Grinder apologetics. Good grief. That's a good new name for Roman Catholic apologetics. Grinder apologetics. What a mess, dude.
There is anybody else in the moderating group. It's absurd.
Yeah, so this guy's a sailor, according to a voice note he sent Joey. And what comes to mind is that dictum: loose lips sink ships. Sailor boy. Loose lips sink ships, sailor boy.
For those that are just tuning in, because people are saying, people are like, what is going on? So the claim is that William Albrecht said Divine Mercy Apologetics is Skittles and was on Grindr and stuff. So Divine Mercy Apologetics is going through trying to refute the claim. And we're watching Divine Mercy Apologetics going through basically like hours of like Grindr research to show that he's innocent. But it's just it's weird, man. This is a weird situation.
Kind of be loose at the moment, doesn't he?
Here's the funniest part. So remember how I told you guys that the person was like stupid enough to take a image of a random Indian man off his Pinterest profile and then put it on the front page of the Grindr? Well, we did a reverse image search. It came up. Look at the photo exactly. Looks exactly like it. Go to the next slide, James. We'll show the exact.
Let me show. No, look.
Yeah, I put a slide that has the comparisons between the two. Go to the next one. And as you can see, it has an exact. I did a face similarity test online, and it says it's the exact same person as well. But if you go to the next one, we can compare the similarities between the two. So look.
Let me put the links for you guys. Yeah, go ahead, brother. But I'm gonna put the links.
I like that. This is Roman Catholic apologetics. It's like the what was that one show? It's Always Sunny, where he's like looking at the wall on the back of the cork board with all the threads, except for like this is just a million ways to say I'm not actually Skittles and on Grindr.
For everybody.
Yeah, put the links. I sent them in the private chat. Look at the exact photo. It's the exact same person. Sunil Aswani. James, is your name Sunil Aswani?
No.
Are you from India? Are you from Report India, James?
No. Hold on.
Are you in fashion?
No.
Oh, okay. Whoa. Okay. Is your nickname Vicky?
No.
Are you sure? Oh, okay. Well, look at this. Look at the exact image. The same cap, the same white background, the exact same face. This is a man. We've got to.
Okay, let's skip forward a little bit. Yeah, let's see.
We're not doxing anyone yet. We know everyone's names. We know where they work. We know who they're associated with. But we know everything about these people at this point.
You guys are talking about some kind of like Discord mod or something. They're like, this Discord mod has it out for me. Claim that DMA is Skittles. This is, I guess, Mythical Elliptical is like a Discord mod or something. It's always Discord. Why is it always Discord? It's a weird platform. This Mythical Elliptical character had claimed that Divine Mercy Apologetics is Skittles and allegedly exposed himself to ladies. He claimed to be in possession of the images of him exposing. I have the images. What?
Right. So these slides were just WhatsApp exchanges between me and Mythical, and you'll know a common occurrence in the first few messages. He keeps reiterating that he's seen them.
He said, "I have the images. I've been studying these images intently. I have been doing so much research on these Skittles images. I have studied them day and night. Okay, 2 weeks straight. I've been staring at these images. You cannot tell me that I don't have them. I have them. I've been watching them intently.
He's seen the photos. He has the photos.
This is ridiculous. Why would you admit that, dude? He claimed to be in possession of the images. I have them. Why would you say that? Anyway.
And well, he goes on to say that I'm in it for the truth. And well, that's correct. I am in it for the truth. But a truthful person is one whose actions match their words. And as we go on, you're going to see what it all goes down here for them.
Give me a sec. Give me a sec. Ryan L. Hayek. Yo, bro, don't make me call you a hayy, which is a snake in Arabic.
His name is Justin. And I know more about that dude than I would have personally ever wished to know.
So apparently he doxed me because his car got towed, or he was, you know, randomly saying, "Don't you have a car to go tow?" Because that day he got his car towed. Guys, I ate chicken today, so I guess I should talk about chicken in the chat, or what's going on here?
It's just absurd.
Gosh, I don't know what the invent claims what you're tired of. The wolves are in our midst. Does he talk about anything actually interesting after this? Better have for a year, etc., etc., etc. He's insane. He's insane. They're making it up. He's insane. They're making it up. Albrecht chose an unhinged editor over Sam Shamoun, over the truth, and for money. Basically, he says he's exposing me for money. Joey got suspicious, etc. Dude, this is how freaking toxic it is being in the Sam Shamoun orbit, in the William Albrecht orbit. I don't know why you would ever want to be like to do apologetics, or in their case, they take it as like a type of ministry. Why would you want to do that with people like this that are constantly involved in some kind of scandal back to back to back to back? That's got to be exhausting. That's got to be absolutely exhausting. Now, I don't know the truth of this situation. Maybe this dude is innocent. Maybe William's telling the truth. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. But I just wanted to cover this because I thought it was interesting. So anyway, I don't really care to continue to cover this because this is such a long stream. This is 4 hours of talking about nothing. I feel like we've covered this pretty much to the extent that it's beneficial to cover. $5. Look at these Skittles photos. I must study them intently. Yes, I have them in my possession. He's saying, I have them. I've been watching them. I've been studying them. Good grief, dude. That deserves a scream. I've had about enough of this story, though. So let's talk about something else. Actually, you know what? No, let's look at... We will do one more thing. Let's pull up William Albrecht's side because that's what we haven't done yet. And I said I would do that. So let's pull up William's side. Let's see what he says. Let's see what William says. All right. So this is from a day ago. And I guess he's got another stream lined up for like 8 p.m. or something today or something to talk about this in more detail.
So we're going to open it up, and it'll be very brief, guys. It's silliness. It doesn't even interest me. Stupidity. Way back in December, yes, you can, Crimson. Come on up. Way back in December, apparently now I'm aware that somebody had made a fake account about...
Dude, he must be stressed. Oh my goodness. Did he get mega punched in both eyes? Yeah, he does look like he's super exhausted. That's true. That's got to be stressful, dude. Dealing with nonstop nonsense all the time has got to be draining, dude. I wouldn't want to be involved in those circles, to be honest.
It was apparently somebody had made a fake count, and apparently now people are demonizing me and furious with me because apparently it was one of my moderators that did it. I have no clue who did that, and I'll be very clear, and I say it on the air. I invite people were talking about getting the authorities involved. Do it. I recommend you do. Whoever did do that, drag them to the ground, get them locked up. Whoever did it. I had no part at all. Zero at all. And, of course, even Divine Mercy knows that.
So I guess he's saying he didn't even make the claim or something? What is he saying? Or he's saying he didn't make the fake account. So he's saying the account is fake and he didn't make the fake account. So I guess that's what he's saying. He's saying the account is fake, or he's guessing that it's fake. This situation is so convoluted, dude.
The vilifying me and the anger towards me is because they claim that I was aware of who created that fake account. I have no idea. Get the authorities, man. I have no clue who did it. I have no clue. I have no clue if any account was fake. I got no clue.
Okay, if any account is fake, I have no clue. So he doesn't know. He's just saying, I've got no idea. You guys just told me what was going on, so I reported that this dude was a Skittles guy dancing in his undies, basically, because that's what the claim is. He's claiming Divine Mercy Apologetics was Skittles, was dancing in his undies, and yada yada yada.
There was a reason why Divine Mercy was removed from my moderator groups well before any kind of scandal even broke, or supposed scandal. With Divine Mercy, a lot of drama came, a lot. And I've got female moderators that came to me and said they couldn't be around him anymore, period. And Abel, you can come up. If you'd like to come up, please come up and confirm. I even have a bunch of female moderators said they couldn't be around anymore if he was going to be around. He was removed for drama. And one thing people don't realize is many months back, I blocked him for several months too. And Sam blocked the guy for like half a year.
So he's saying Sam has had Divine Mercy blocked for half a year, and he blocked him several months ago.
Like half a year. I had to block him, and I've still got the messages where I said, me and Sam don't do drama. The guy came back trashing Sam, saying, no, Sam does do drama. That was a long time back, many months back, and I had to block the guy. That was a long time back.
All right, let me catch you up for people that are just tuning in. So basically, we're covering Sam Shamoun, William Albrecht. Divine Mercy Apologetics are having some big falling out. William Albrecht has said that Divine Mercy Apologetics is Skittles, and he's sending inappropriate pictures to people online. There was a whole thing with like a Grindr account and things like this. So William Albrecht is saying this about Divine Mercy Apologetics. Sam Shamoun is mixed up in it somehow because he always manages to be in it. But basically, Divine Mercy denies all of that, but we're going through William's side now. So that's where we're at for those of you that are late to this.
And I removed him again and blocked him again. With Divine Mercy, a lot of drama came.
Hey, we got Alex Soren in the chat. What's up, dude? Welcome to the show. Yeah, this is crazy. This is wild. You should have seen earlier. He was like, I've studied the images. He's like, I've studied the images. I have them. I'm studying them. I am obsessed with them. The images, so they haunt my dreams. It's just like all these drama streams for them are like self-reports like crazy. Like the Divine Mercy Apologetics guy was like, well, obviously they know how this app works because you wouldn't be able to tell if he was actually following him on Grindr unless this button appears, because that's how the app works. So how do you know this, dude? How do you know that is how do you know that's how the app works? It's crazy.
I don't deal with any drama at all, guys. Apparently, vilifying me is that apparently one of my moderators created a fake account of his. Okay, we'll deal with him. Amen, brother, for sure. Brother, I want to be very clear. Let me tell you this, my friends. Whoever did that, if I find out, they're gone. They're gone, guys. They're completely gone. I tried to, Frater Rick, I tried to go up. They didn't allow me to. No, I did try to go onto a show. They didn't allow me to. I tried to go up. They did not allow me. They didn't allow me, guys. So we tried to go up. We tried to clear the air. And what I wanted to say was this. I wanted to say, hey, if that is fake, you need to clean house. We need to clean house. There you go, Gary. We need to clean house. I've said it from the very beginning. We need to clean house if that is fake. But I have no idea who would have done that. I have no clue.
All right, I'm going to skip forward a little bit because he's repeating himself over and over and over again.
I did not remove James because of that. And James knows it. I kicked James out.
Yeah, look at the poster behind him. Lord have mercy.
Out of the group for the very reason Sam blocked him half a year ago. Because of drama. And I have the text where James is basically begging me to have Sam unblock him. I kicked him because of drama. Because I don't have time for drama. And after 5 more minutes there, I'm done. I'm not mentioning this ever again. You know, we want to know why? Because I debate here. I don't do drama. I debate and I do things that are important for the faith. I don't do drama, guys. So after this, we move past it. We're done.
Okay, so I'm going to skip to the point where he's talking to one of the mods. This was the Discord mod guy. There's the Discord mod guy. Mythical Elliptical, I guess, is in William's Discord or something, which is where all this is going on. So I'm going to skip forward a little bit and we'll get into the meat of it.
To wake up from a nap and experience all of that, though.
Yeah, apparently because somebody made a fake account. Now I am to blame and I am guilty, apparently, according to Divine Mercy. So yeah,
well, I understand my name got broke.
Somebody said, is that guy a priest? Oh, because he's wearing a cassock. I don't know why he's wearing a cassock. He is not a priest, though. No, he is not a priest.
Brought up in this, and I know Joey admitted that he was purposefully lying to me. Just so you know, brother, Joey was telling me that he was working with you, asking, William told me to get this information from you, things of that nature. And
Joey never provided anything to me. No,
okay,
he never gave me anything. I think you know that too. Joey never gave me anything. I told Joey, provide me evidence. He didn't give me any evidence at all. And I think the one thing people are not realizing, the one thing people don't get is I've got moderators here, female, that will tell you they wanted James gone.
That's the biggest thing. That's what I told him.
I guess James is Divine Mercy Apologetics. That's who they're talking about. They're saying female moderators in the Discord wanted Divine Mercy Apologetics gone because he was causing some kind of issues. That's what William is saying here.
That was the number one. Nothing people do not realize. What James is doing is
did he always have the list for only after he investigated the Tinder photos? Nice. Yeah. Female moderators on Discord. He had to specify it. Female moderators. Is collecting them like Pokemon cards, I guess. I don't know.
Is massive damage control. What 100%. James is doing is trying to say that I am to blame because
look, there are no women on Discord, okay? That's true. There are no women on Discord, so
a moderator of mine made a fake gay account of him. Well, even if that was the case, why are you upset at me? I'll tell you why he's mad at me. I kicked him from my groups and I blocked him from my channel, but I did all of that well before any account came up.
I can confirm all of that.
You can confirm that well 100%. Before any account ever came up, and I kicked him out because number one, his drama was too much. He couldn't deal with the drama. Number two, the women wanted him gone.
If I may, I want to make it very clear for people out there who may have saw this. The only reason why this was ever even brought to William's attention was after the fact with the drama with the women, because we did not want someone else who could do damage to the faith to stumble across this. It was discovered and it was immediately sent and said, this.
They were trying to cover it up, basically. It's like, we did not want this to get public. We did not want people to know about this scandal. That seems to be the Roman Catholic MO, though. It's just cover up the scandals time and time and time again. This is why people get upset with me doing these types of news streams. Roman Catholics get upset with me doing these types of news streams because they want to cover up the scandals. No, call them out. Call them out and allow them to be worked out, dude. Stop trying to cover stuff up. This is how you get over 1,000 in San Francisco alone, the San Francisco Archdiocese, over 1,000 abuse cases. Because you keep covering them up and moving people around. Stop covering stuff up, dude. Talk about it. When there's something going on in the Orthodox world, we talk about it. We call it out. We say this is nonsense. Stop hiding it. What are you doing?
William will know how best to handle it. And what William's response was, he did not care. And the reason he did not care is because DMA was already gone because of the women.
I didn't care at all. With what was sent to me, I didn't care at all.
As I told Joey multiple times, this is the information that was sent. And he says, well, you did this, you created this. Nope, it was sent to me, Abel, AB. Every single other moderator who's in the group will confirm that we all saw it at the exact same time. I decided that I would be the one to bring it forth to William to protect anonymity of our fellow moderators.
Yep.
So you know what? 110% I would do it again. So anyone out there who thinks, oh, mythical, you snake, things like that, you have no idea. I was trying to protect DMA.
Anybody who thinks mythical stinks, you've got no idea. I'm filthy. I stink up the whole room when I walk in. No, I'm just kidding. He just said that. He said that in such a weird way. Anybody who thinks I stink, you've got no idea, buddy. I'm disgusting.
Because I wanted it to go to William first than anyone else, because what if some Muslims or anyone else were to get a hold of that? We all know what they would have done with it. It was the responsible thing to do, and I would do it every single time again.
Oh, yeah. No, there's no doubt at all. And to be very clear, though, people do not realize is they don't get it that he was kicked days before anything was ever even shown to me. He was kicked.
The only reason why the other stuff was ever even said was 100%. The only reason why the other stuff was ever even brought up was because we didn't want this floating around out there for some random person to discover. Better people who are within the faith take it and handle one of their own internally than anyone else get it. That was my point.
100%. He was completely removed from here in my channel, from everywhere. He was removed 100% because of the drama, nothing else, period. Because of the drama. And people don't realize that he was removed because of the drama. And then people saying, well, that I cited women.
Yeah, why is William wearing a cassock and pectoral cross? That's just strange. As a lay person, why is he wearing a cassock? No clerical collar, though. Cassock with no clerical collar and a pectoral cross. Why is he doing that? Is he like LARPing as a priest? I don't get it.
Yes, I was aware that Joro, here the name's already been, her name has already been put out. I thought it was more women.
Way more. I'm not giving their names. I'm not giving their names.
Well, there you go. But apparently, I thought the others had spoken to Sam. They're telling me they hadn't. But very clearly, one of our moderators had. There's nothing that I lied about. There are many more women, many more women that want nothing to do with that guy, didn't want that guy around at all. I had no choice but to get rid of that guy.
Folks, to give you guys any idea, the women didn't want to come forward because they were scared for their safety from him. So
the women on Discord were scared of their safety from Divine Mercy Apologetics, is the statement by this guy. So I don't know what's going on. This is a really weird situation. For those that are tuning in, basically they're talking about some scandal that happened with Divine Mercy Apologetics. He got banned from Albrecht's Discord servers and stuff. I guess he was doing some weird stuff with women or something, or some Skittle stuff as well. There was some rumors about a Grindr account. I mean, we were just going over some info on that, where Divine Mercy was saying, no, that's not the case. So he's saying he's Skittles, but also somehow scaring women away. There's too many layers to this. What are they talking about? Next thing they're going to say the dogs were scared. I don't know what's going on. This is just crazy. Dano, $2. This is the final straw. We're cleaning house. Yeah. I am not Skittles. I've only been watching a few minutes. I feel like I'm going schizo mode. What a dumpster fire. Dude, my thumbnails and titles are becoming true. It's like the last one was like, it's driving me insane. I don't remember what the last one was. It was like, oh, I'm going bald, and then it's aged me 20 years. This one was, I want to escape into another dimension. These are becoming true. The next one will be Roman Catholic news. I watched 1 week of Roman Catholic news, and my kidneys exploded. My skin fell off. That's crazy. Help me think of some good titles for the next ones, because these are wild, dude. But thank you for the super chat. Oh yeah, let me give you one screen. All right, let's keep going.
Pardon my French, you're damn right that we're going to run a middleman in between that to protect our sisters of the faith. We are not going to put up with women getting intimidated in the group. Never.
100%, without a doubt.
I am not using that as a title. What the? That's horrible, dude.
Not going. And Joe Rowe is saying, Sam contacted me.
There you go.
It was after Sam spoke to Joe Rowe that Joe Rowe notified me that she spoke to him and shared everything with him. The testimony of many women was shared. We got a moderator right here. Nothing I said was a lie. Nothing at all.
At least five.
So the idea that I made up women or that any of this is made up, none of it is made up. Now, whether or not this is a fake account, I never once went live saying it was real.
No.
Ever.
And I don't care. It was brought to all of us in our moderator group at the same time. We addressed how best to handle it. We have to give it to William.
And
you decided that
drama,
it wasn't. Yeah, exactly.
That I didn't.
Hey, we got Mikey in the chat. What's going on, Mikey? Good to see you, dude.
care for.
And
I didn't
every
go
day,
live.
I would
I
get
didn't care one
messages.
bit.
I would get messages. Oh, we need more evidence, things like that. Well, I didn't come up with it, so I'm sorry, but you got what you got. And if it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter, because it was the women, it was the drama, it was the other things. This was just
It was the women. He blamed it on the women. These women did it.
hey, people should probably see this just in case some Muslims or anyone else find it, because we don't want damage done to the faith from people like that in ministry by any means.
No doubt.
And to be absolutely
at all,
clear,
brother.
I was
No
a
doubt.
supporter of DMA. I told everyone multiple times once this came out, the point of this is not to try to destroy somebody. The point of this is to get them help if they need it.
Yep.
Simple as that.
Yeah, no, there's no doubt at all. There's no doubt, and it's an unfortunate thing. It really is unfortunate, but
And-
we've dealt with it, and
Yeah,
and
we're
we move
done.
on
We're
from
done.
it. Yeah,
If I can
we're
say
done with
one
it.
last thing on it,
Please do, brother.
on it.
Please do.
If you come into our WhatsApps group, you will be safe. If anyone
Yeah.
ever does anything,
If you come into our WhatsApp group after all this, you will be safe. I'm going to defend you because I've got anime and God on my side. I'm going to defend you, madame. Just me, Mr. Discord mod. Come into my WhatsApp group where we talk about Skittles people on Grindr. We've got all the Skittles Roman Catholics in our WhatsApp group that you can handle, and I'll keep you safe.
you can contact one of the moderators privately, and we will be happy to play middleman for you. Your name will never have to be exposed. If anyone is threatening or harassing you, do not hesitate. We got you.
Absolutely, brother. Thank
That's
you so
it.
much, brother. You're phenomenal,
God
brother.
bless.
God bless you, brother. You take care, brother. Audience, with that, we're done. If you have any questions, we're done with that drama. We're done. We've dealt with it. We're moving on with it. 100%. And that is, you're going to have it all the time, guys. You're going to have it when you are doing ministry, when you're fighting for the Lord, when you're fighting for Christ. You're going to have all of this. There is no proof at all that I had anything to do with any fake account being made, any of this. None at all. It's silliness, guys. Silliness. Yes, class is back in session. We are 100%. Toronto, you're right. Unnecessary. 100%. Ultimately, leave dry bones is okay, guys. Dry bones is all right. Dry bones is all right, guys. Dry bones is kosher. Don't worry, guys. He's kosher. He's kosher, guys. He's trying to make sense of all this drama, guys. A lot of people are. He's trying to make sense of all this drama, guys. Don't worry. Don't worry.
Yeah.
He's all right. He's trying to make.
Yeah, Clips channels. If you're doing this, make a short of this with a bunch of fa. Yeah, every time they self-report, add a fa sound effect.
Sense of all this drama. You guys are phenomenal. You guys are great. We are here as an enormous family in the Lord, and a lot of lies are being spread, including one lie that I was going to go, that I was heading on over to Germany and that I swindled somebody. Complete lie. The person that wanted me to go out there, which, by the way,
Oh, now he's talking about, I guess that's the Daniel Kakish, the Monophysite guy. I guess he's talking about he gave him some money or something, or maybe this is somebody else. Oh, you know what? I think I heard about this. I think it was like an older person in Germany or something. You know what? Let's check this out because I don't want to be wrong. Let's see what he says.
yes, I did share that with Sam. The person that wanted me to go out there was a complete quack, a complete lunatic. People have absolutely no idea at all. They have got no clue at all, audience. None at all. God bless you, Ben Yosef. How you doing, brother? God bless you, brother.
The Clips channels are doing good, dude. One of those clip channels, their third video, making a clip of something that we said in one of the podcasts, got 10,000 views. Can you believe that? The Clips channels are on fire right now. So again, if you guys want to make Clips channels, feel free to clip whatever you want from my page. This will be my ask, though. If I do an interview with a priest, don't crop the priest out, right? Because I'm very specific to try not to like teach by myself on here. Like, I don't want to be a teacher. I'm not trying to teach. I'm reporting news when I'm doing solo streams. But when we're talking about theology or something, I have a priest on, don't crop them out. Leave them in. But if you want to make a Clips channel, feel free. Go ahead.
All you guys are great. You guys are phenomenal. We will get past all of this drama. How is Pacheco involved? We're going to bring people up. Anyone that has any questions on their mind, we're going to deal with them. We're going to hammer them. And we've got We've got it open.
Does he cover anything else? I don't know if he does.
15 years earlier. Now,
Or is that it? That might be it. I think we've seen enough. Yeah, he's doing some kind of Bible study. Why do they always do this? Sam Shamoun just did this too. He did drama, then Bible study. Drama, now Bible study. It's like, here's the drama. Now we're gonna do Bible study. This is weird, dude. All right, let's see. $5 super chat, Kermit King. I watched too much Roman Catholic news. They sent the Vatican assassins after me. It's over. It's over, dude. I appreciate the super chat. Thank you so much. Only 3 more super chats till goal. Believe it or not, I have even more Roman Catholic news to share with you all. This story is just so weird and interesting. I figured I would take some time and dive into it, but I've got even more stories. This is only 1 week's worth of Roman Catholic news. 1 week's worth. That's it.
and we dealt with in a very serious manner.
Okay. I don't want to watch any more Albrecht. Let me get this off my screen. All right. So I guess we'll do a little summary on this subject. All right. So I'm going to pull back up the Sam Shamoun page where he did a post on this subject. We'll give a little recap of this situation, and then we'll move on to our next subject. So let me go ahead and pull up Sam Shamoun's thing. I guess William Albrecht has another stream on this today. So even though William Albrecht said, we're done talking about this, it's over, we're not talking about this anymore, it's done, he's going to be talking about it some more. So, I mean, this is how they get views. This is how they get views. They continue with the drama, this crazy insanity, Roman Catholic people on Grindr and all this other stuff. So, I mean, it's just crazy. Anyway. So Sam Shamoun posts, this session provides receipts and facts which explain why I no longer work or associate with William Albrecht. So Sam Shamoun and William Albrecht are done. Bam. He's like, I'm done with William Albrecht. Watch it and be ready to get heartbroken and extremely angry at the lies and injustices that were carried out. We watched the Divine Mercy apologetics stream where he basically said, whoever made this fake Grindr account, supposed fake Grindr account, must have known how the app works because these buttons don't appear unless you follow somebody on Grindr. So somehow Divine Mercy Apologetics knows how this app works. I don't know how that is. I'm not making any claims, but that's a little suspicious. Dude. That's a little suspicious. You know how the application works? Oh, I've been studying the images he did a 4-hour live stream going through like Grindr DMs and stuff. It's weird. Why are you doing this? This is the state of Roman Catholic apologetics. It is not going to get any better. It is not going to get any better. This is where we're at, I guess. The apologists are, this is where we're at. This is a mess, dude. Anyway, it's been a bad few weeks for William. I don't know, dude. This is crazy. Anyway. Yeah, so you get the point. You get the point. Let's move on. Contemporary Compendium. Hey, Ben, I always link back to your original vids and streams, but would you prefer to be tagged also? I don't want to keep bothering you if it's a bother. No, I like getting tagged in them. If I'm tagged in them, then I get a notification saying that it's been posted, so then I can just share it. So if you want your videos to get boosted when you do clips, tag me in them so I get a notification, and then I'll share it to my YouTube community tab. So I'll help promote your videos. Again, if anyone wants to make clips, feel free. Make clips of my content. Hey, what's up? We got Jim Bob here. What's going on, dude? Good to see you. We just got done with the what is 1 week of Catholic news made me addicted to Grindr. This is ridiculous, dude. This news story is insane. Oh, anyway. All right, let's move on to a new subject because I'm done talking about Skittles, Roman Catholic apologetics nonsense. This is absolutely insane. All right, so I have a couple more stories to share with y'all. Let me go ahead and dive into it. So we were talking about how Roman Catholic NGOs are actually supporting mass migration. I have shared a couple of different articles on this in the past, talking about the USCCB. Matter of fact, I I might pull that up. Let me see if I can find my USCCB post, or I'll just go to their website. How about that? USCCB, refugee, resettlement. And we'll pull that up first, and then we will dive into the new section there about funding. Funding. It's funding the refugee crisis or something. Funding. USC. Yeah, there you go. Funding the refugee program. All right, let's share this and we'll dive into it. So before I even pull up the article, I'm just going to take you to the United States Conference of Catholic Bishops website on the subject of the refugee crisis. Okay, so this is what they get paid to do. The United States Conference of Catholic Bishops, bishops of the Roman Catholic Church in America, receive funding to import a ton of refugees into the United States. Are you aware of this? This is what actually goes on in the Roman Catholic Church. USCCB engages with the federal appropriations process to obtain the maximum amount of funding needed to support the U.S. refugee program, which provides both overseas assistance and resettlement services to refugees. Each year, the USCCB advocates for funding levels that maximize the number of refugees assisted overseas and resettled in the United States. So every year, we talked about this in the last live stream, but this is important for what we're about to discuss. So every year, the USCCB, the United States Conference of Catholic Bishops, seeks the maximum amount of funding to bring as many refugees into the United States as possible. So this is why I don't understand why guys like Nick Fuentes think that they can have Christian nationalism with a Roman Catholic undercurrent, with a Roman Catholic framework, because the Roman Catholic Church openly supports mass migration into the United States. Pope Leo has made several statements to this effect. Their own United States Conference of Catholic Bishops website says that is their goal. We want the maximum amount of funding so we can bring the maximum amount of refugees into the United States. Guess what? All of the people in Minnesota, the Somalians in Minnesota, they were brought in as refugees. Okay. Lutheran NGOs helped them to get there. Roman Catholic NGOs helped them to get there, including the United States Conference of Catholic Bishops. Okay. So if you're against mass migration, if you're against demographic replacement, if you're against all of these things, do not be Roman Catholic. Do not give them your tithes. Do not give them your money. The U.S. government is already giving them money. They're already giving them your tax dollars to flood our country with immigrants. But I bring this up to bring up this story here that was shared on X. Wall Street Apes reports. The main wire reveals Catholic Charities has absolutely nothing to do with anything Catholic. It's just an NGO to import illegals. What have I been saying this whole time? What have I been saying? Go watch the live stream I did with Luigi about 4 weeks ago on the Minnesota crisis. Vindicated in real time. He says there are multiple fake church NGOs that Democrats paid tens of billions to import illegals. There's a deliberate effort to resettle the Somali refugees by groups like Catholic Charities. You hear that? The Somali refugee crisis. Who's helping them? Whoa, we just read it. So Catholic Charities makes a huge amount of money moving people, migrants around to places in the country that don't necessarily vote to have that happen. By one lens, you might consider Catholic Charities to be a human trafficking organization because that's what they do. They get paid. They make huge amounts of money to take people who have crossed the border illegally and distribute them through the United States. Catholic Charities doesn't really have to do with anything with being Catholic. It's just a nonprofit that makes tons of money and has some kind of affiliation with the Catholic Church. The Lutherans do this as well. We just reported on this. We reported on this a month ago. Okay. There are tons of organizations that are in this migrant resettlement business and they cloak it in. How big is the business? Billions of dollars, billions, tens of billions of dollars. During the Biden administration, the amount of money that was dumped into these, it starts to be mind-numbing, the amounts of money that are dumped on these organizations. Let's watch the clip real quick because we were talking about this not that long ago. Roman Catholic NGOs, the United States Conference of Catholic Bishops, Catholic Charities, All of these are human trafficking organizations that serve to resettle migrants from outside of the country into the United States. And this is all being done with your tax dollars.
What you see happening is it's a program at first. Yes, there is a deliberate effort to resettle the Somali refugees by groups like Catholic Charities. So Catholic Charities makes a huge amount of money moving people, migrants, around to places in the country that don't necessarily vote to have that happen. You might, by one lens, you might consider Catholic Charities to be a human trafficking organization, because that's what they do. They get paid. They make huge amounts of money to take people who've crossed the border illegally and distribute them throughout the United States.
This is great, Steve. I'm Catholic.
Well,
Didn't know this.
Well, good for you. Catholic Charities doesn't really have anything to do with being Catholic.
Except for them being associated with the Roman Catholic Church. What do you mean? Catholic Charities doesn't really have anything to... It's okay that you're Roman Catholic. These NGOs associated with the Roman Catholic Church doesn't really have anything to do with being Roman Catholic. No, what he's saying is they don't teach doctrine. But this is supported by the Roman Catholic Church. They just don't do things affiliated with doctrine, is all he's saying.
It's just a nonprofit that makes a ton of money and has some kind of affiliation with the Catholic Church. But the Lutherans do this as well. There's tons of organizations that are in this migrant resettlement business, and they cloak it in...
How big is the business?
Billions.
Billions of
Billions.
dollars.
I mean, tens of...
Yeah, feel free. If you've got some info on that, send that over to me. Yeah, 2 more super chats and we reach goal. 2 more super chats till goal. If you want to support the show, send in 2 teal super chats. I appreciate the support. Thanks for watching, by the way. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Let's keep growing. Let's get these live streams. I want to keep doing these Roman Catholic news live streams. These are interesting because we cover a lot of information and people aren't really paying attention. This is what I do for fun. I watch this stuff for fun already. So, I mean, I just bookmark what I already watch. These like Roman Catholic scandal articles or whatever, politics and all these things. I'm already researching into all this stuff anyway. So it's cool to just be able to come out here and tell you guys about what's going on this week in the Roman Catholic world.
Billions of dollars. I mean, during the Biden administration, the amount of money that was dumped into these, it starts to be mind-numbing amounts of money that are dumped on these organizations. And it's to take and process migrants who cross the border and fly them, distribute them to little communities like the Springfield, Ohio. You know, those 15,000 Haitians don't just show up in Springfield, Ohio. That's coordinated by NGOs.
Do I research the traditional movement in the Catholic Church, the SSPX? Yeah, I mean, I know things about the trads, set of Acontis groups, so on and so forth. Sure. I think honestly, if you're a trad and you're watching this, you know, if you are one of the people that are calling out the corruption, I don't have any problem with you at all. In fact, you know, we probably have more. We're probably pushing towards the same thing as far as wanting the Roman Catholic Church to be less corrupt. Because honestly, at the end of the day, this stuff affects everyone. This stuff affects Orthodox. This stuff affects everybody. And I really don't want Roman Catholic families to continue to go to Novus Ordo parishes, to continue to go to these other parishes and experience abuse and be scandalized and have these kind of Skittles ideologies being pushed on them. I don't want that to happen to any American family. I don't care what religious background you have. You shouldn't have Skittles stuff blasted in your face every single day, being taught these woke liberal axioms. I don't care what religious background you have. That stuff needs to get out of the United States of America. We cannot be teaching that stuff to kids. So when it happens in the Roman Catholic Church, yeah, that makes me mad. When these kids are being indoctrinated, this is the next generation of people who are going to be running our societies. I do not want them to be indoctrinated with false woke nonsense. So yeah, if you're a trad and this makes you upset, call it out. Get this stuff fixed, right? That's what we want. Look, I don't celebrate. We joke and we laugh and stuff, but this stuff actually makes me upset that this is happening to Roman Catholics. Okay? This stuff actually makes me upset. And this story in particular affects everybody. So this one actually affects everybody. This is them importing migrants into my country. We don't want these people here. We don't want the illegals here, right? We don't want them here causing all of the issues, driving up crime, making our houses more expensive, right? We're all about helping people. We're all about, we would love to help people. America's full, dude. America's full. This has been abused to the point of insanity. This is demographic replacement so the Democrats could get more votes. And it even gets a little more insidious than that, but I'm not going to cover all of that in this live stream.
That have huge amounts of government money. That's what happened in Maine, beginning in the.
That's true. Not just illegals. Now they have redefined it. Now they're bringing in a lot of these people as refugees. So they're giving them a legal status. That was the case with the Somalians. They gave them a legal status as refugees.
Early 2000, you have.
Now, not all refugees are bad, right? But the vast majority of them coming in just want to take advantage of the system. Now, I'll give you a story. A while ago, a long time ago, when I did a men's mentorship program, there was a Muslim young man that lived in the Middle East. He was in Syria. This was before the revolution. He lived in Syria, and he had come to the faith. He had come to faith in Christ, and he basically somehow, his family found out his father was basically going to chop his head off. So we worked with a couple of different organizations to help him get out of the country. And he went to another country that had kind of more lax refugee laws. He ended up going to Germany. So that saved his life, and that was necessary. And he's a Christian, and he attends a church over there now, and he's actually doing well. So, I mean, there are good examples of refugees going, but most of them are just scamming. Most of them do not want to integrate. Most of them come in and they're interested in replacing our culture, replacing our religion. A lot of these guys are Muslims coming over. They want to implement Sharia law. They want to do all of these types of things. So we can't have that. I mean, we've got to stop. I mean, the United States needs to stop letting in refugees at this point, period. That's my honest position. We need to stop until we figure out what's going on, but we need to stop allowing them in.
Organizations are relocating the Somali refugees from Atlanta to Portland, and eventually from Portland, they figure out that Lewiston has more vacant, large family housing to accommodate the families that are moving there.
So anyway, if you didn't catch that, Roman Catholic Charities basically getting paid to import not only illegal immigrants, refugees, migrants. They're making billions upon billions of dollars to import these people into the United States. Roman Catholics, this is where your tithe money is going to. United States citizens, this is where your tax dollars are going to. Importing illegals and migrants into the United States. And this is all being done by Roman Catholic NGOs. This is being done by Lutheran NGOs, Lutheran Social Services. If you want to check out more information on that, watch the live stream that I did with Ben Luigi about a month ago. It's in my videos tab on my channel. You can go check that out. We break that down in detail. And that's in reference to the Somali refugee crisis, as is this. And when I called this out earlier, people were telling me, no, the Roman Catholic Church isn't involved in the Somali issue. This is something else. They just help people that need it. No, this is actually directly implemented, directly linked to the Somali refugee crisis in Minnesota. So everything that's going on right now, you can thank the Roman Catholic Church. I mean, you can thank them. You can thank the Lutheran Church as well. So ridiculous. Ortho T. Bell, thanks for becoming a member. I appreciate it. Silent, $5. In 2024, my grandfather was hit and killed by an illegal immigrant. Lord have mercy. Yeah, it's unfortunate. And some of these people are getting like trucker jobs. You've seen like the Indian migrants taking the trucker jobs, so on and so forth. This is why knowing who is like pro H-1B is so important. Like in Florida, Byron Donalds is very pro H-1B. He wants to replace our jobs with Indian migrants. He wants to bring in more Indian migrants and have them take our jobs, basically. Anytime you hear the H-1B thing, it's basically taking a bunch of Indian migrants into the United States to take your jobs. That's pretty much it. James Fishback, he's one of the candidates running for Florida governor. I actually really like him. I've liked what I've seen from him so far. He's said something. He was on Tucker's show not that long ago, and he said something along the lines of there is a deal the United States government made with the Chinese government in which they're going to take hundreds of thousands of Chinese students and give them spots in United States universities. So these are going to take United States citizen spots in these universities and give them to Chinese nationals, basically. Now, one thing about China is a lot of times in these university positions, they send in spies or they send in people who would like to subvert the organizations, make them more pro-socialism and things like this. So basically, we have made a deal with the United States government to subvert our institutions even more than they're already subverted. But James Fishback wants to make it so that any Chinese national that wants to go to a university in Florida has to pay, I think it was like $1 million a year or something. So he's basically going to make it impossible for them to take up our Florida universities, which is good, He's also said some other good things about Israel. He said that under DeSantis, which I like DeSantis, but this was a bad move. He spent like $200,000 in these bonds, bought $200,000 worth of Israeli bonds. I don't remember the exact figure, but it was about 200,000 Israeli bonds in Florida taxpayer money. And he's basically, it's a bad investment too. It didn't even get a good return. So what Fishback is saying is he's going to divest that and he's going to put it into first-time home buyer grants or something along those lines. So I'm liking what I'm hearing from him so far. Go and check out his stuff. He's also super funny and edgy. So, I mean, I don't know. We need less Zionist leaders in America and more people that are actually pro-America, right? Pro-America, not just pro-Israel. Trader, $5, hitting the goal for us. Keep up the good faith work. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'm going to give you a gong for that, for hitting the goal. Thank you so much. And an applause here. Goal. That's right. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. But yeah, this is crazy. So long story short, Roman Catholic NGOs are flooding the United States with migrants. That just is what it is. I've got one more story that I want to make sure I cover with y'all. I think this is my last story. I might have something else. Let me double check. I might have something else, but I have one more that I know I want to cover. Well, let's see if I have an additional thing. No, I think this will be my last one. Okay, so let's take a look at this. This is from Novus Ordo Watch. I love Novus Ordo Watch. We're talking about trads just a second ago. Novus Ordo Watch here. Vatican official, I think they're actually sedevacanists, actually. Vatican official praises Lutheran text as model for Christian unity ahead of 2030 commemoration. LifeSite News reports. For your sedevacantists are just a bunch of Protestant stack of files. So they're saying the model of Christian unity is Lutheran. Lutheran win? Whoa, Lutherans mentioned? Wait a minute. Wait, weren't we just talking about Lutheran NGOs and Roman Catholic NGOs flooding the United States with migrants? Christian unity equals, from the Roman Catholic view, Christian unity equals flooding America with migrants. No, I don't know if I want to make that conclusion, but let's see what they have to say about it. Vatican official praises Lutheran text as model for Christian unity ahead of 2030 commemoration. The Confessio Augustana, written by Protestant theologian Philip Melanchthon and presented in 1530 to Emperor Charles V, is one of the founding texts of Lutheranism. The secretary of the Dicastery of the Promotion of Christian Unity has said one of the founding texts of Lutheranism offers a model for rediscovering common ground among Christians. Roman Catholic Church basically just admitting the Protestants had it right. Bro, what is going on? Anyway. So the founding text of Lutheranism offers a model for rediscovering common ground among Christians ahead of a planned ecumenical commemoration in 2030. Oh, before I go on, actually, there is one more thing I want to cover. It's not Roman Catholic news related, it's Protestant, but I thought it was interesting. We'll cover that in a moment. On January 22nd, Archbishop Flavio Pace made the remarks in an interview with Vatican News published on the occasion of the Week of Prayer for Christian Unity. As he reflected on upcoming ecumenical commemorations, in particular the 500th anniversary of the Diet of Augsburg, and the Confessio Augustana, the primary confession of the Lutheran Church in 2030. After the crisis with Martin Luther, there was an attempt to find common ground, a shared profession of faith among the countries we now identify with the Reformation. Pace said it is important to commemorate that text in order. Important to commemorate that text. Whoa. Roman Catholics commemorating reformational texts in order to rediscover a common foundation, at the same time to rediscover something more for our present day. The Confessio Augustana, written by the Lutheran theologian Philip Melanchthon and presented in 1530 to Emperor Charles, is one of the founding texts of Lutheranism. The purpose was to show Catholics they did not intend to create a new church. So the document stating that the Lutherans didn't intend to make a new church, but they wanted to just renew it. They're just renewing the church. Roman Catholic officials are saying this is a good text for us to use for Christian unity. So they want to Protestantize the Roman Catholic Church, is what it seems like. Anyway, but to address perceived theological abuses and, in their view, return to the faith of the early church. So this is what they're praising, this Protestant notion of returning to the faith of the early church. We didn't mean to make a new church, but we're actually just... So what are they saying? The Reformation is correct? Is that what they're saying? Good grief, dude. The implications of this are horrific. Among the practices that were condemned was a reception of Holy Communion under the single species of bread, priestly celibacy. Whoa. Are you saying they want to change this? That would actually probably be a good change for them, to be honest. That would probably change the 80% of clergy in the Roman Catholic Church being Skittles issue. So that would be good. The understanding of the Mass as a sacrifice, the traditional view of confession, doctrine of penance, and unity between church and state. The Catholic Church responded to the Confessio with a detailed work prepared by papal theologians known as the Confutatio Augustana, so basically refuting it. In it, the Church addressed the Lutheran theses and called for a return to the full Roman Catholic doctrine. These themes were later taken up again and developed at the Council of Trent, which is a refutation of Melanchthon's work. So they're counter-signaling their own ecumenical councils. They're saying, whoops, we made a mistake. Let's actually go back and look at the Lutherans for advice. Pace's remarks align with an ecumenical approach that sees necessary beginning again from a common ground or fundamental point of reference. So one world religion nonsense, like we're going to water down Christianity. Often identified with the Nicene Constantinopolitan Creed. Pope Leo himself appears to share this view in his recent apostolic letter. He downplays the filioque truth of faith as a theological controversy that has lost its importance, basically. Leo emphasizes that in today's pursuit of unity does not imply ecumenism that attempts to return to the state prior to the divisions. So he wants to change the Roman Catholic Church. We don't want to go back to how it was before the schism. We want to change and become something new going forward. Seeks reconciliation through dialogue as we share our gifts and spiritual heritage. This year, the observance of the Week of Prayer for Christian Unity coincided with the catechesis by Pope Leo on the Second Vatican Council, which we're waiting on more info to come out on this. He's done a couple of them, but they've been kind of nothing burgers. It's just kind of like, we love to love. Love is very important. Make sure you love. Make sure you love one another. That is what Vatican means. The Second Vatican Council means love. Anyway. So it's a nothing burger so far, but we'll wait until they get to Nostra Aetate and see what they say, because they're working through it as like a weekly series. Pope Leo is. Anyway, according to Pace, Dei Verbum is in some way the completion of Dei Filius, which belonged to the First Vatican Council, where the focus was indeed on the more intellectual truths. So we covered in the last video where they're trying to water down the faith. Basically, they say, the prefect for the dicastery, the doctrine of the deposit of faith, basically said, this is in the Roman Catholic Church, basically said, stop focusing on doctrine. We need to focus more on the core of the faith. That's where we'll find unity. It's the core. So they want to boil down Christianity to the Nicene Creed, and then everything else is just kind of free game. It's what it seems like. That's speculation, but that's what it seems like at this point. Pace explained that 2030 commemoration of the Diet of Augsburg will take place in a year already marked off by other significant anniversaries, including the 2,000-year anniversary traditionally associated with the beginning of Jesus Christ's public ministry. There are many cross-cutting ecumenical initiatives that would like to take place at the center of a shared reading of the Sermon on the Mount. I hope this anniversary will be a fruitful year, not only for relations with Lutherans, but for other ecumenical themes. So a lot more ecumenism in 2030. Anyway, you get the point. I don't need to read all of this. It's only 2 more paragraphs, but you get the point. So they're praising the Lutherans' view, Melanchthon's view, saying that they were returning to, quote unquote, returning to the teaching of the apostles, which they're not. They weren't. The Lutherans weren't. Returning to the teachings of the apostles, and we're getting rid of all this other stuff. Now, they were correct to call out these abuses, like selling indulgences, so on and so forth. They were correct to call out the abuses, but they were not correct in splitting off from the church. What they should have done is they should have become Orthodox. But anyway, you get the point. So basically, they're counter-signaling their own ecumenical councils at this point. So interesting. Very odd. All right, so I want to dive in. Did I miss anything in the chat? Probably not. No, nothing new in the chat. Said it's like a cold. Oh, you guys are having a conversation. All right, so I did want to cover one last thing, and then we'll wrap up here. So I thought this was kind of funny. This is from our friend Taco Talks. So he's been doing these weird videos where he talks to himself and he like debates himself. So very strange. Oh, he made a new one. Ooh, I'll have to cover that. I'll cover that one after this. So we'll cover 2 of his videos here. So he says, he makes this video and he argues. Oh, let me share my screen real quick. So he makes this video and he argues, are Lutherans Christians? So Taco Talks doesn't even believe Lutherans are Christians. So he's a Reformed Baptist guy. I mean, he's the eyes, dude. The eyes betray a lot. If you don't remember this guy, this was the guy that refused to pray with the Roman Catholic dude he was debating right after that Roman Catholic school shooting happened. He refused to pray for them because he could have just stepped in and prayed. I get not wanting to pray with, people of other faith traditions. You're not supposed to pray with the heterodoxes and Orthodox, but he could have prayed. He could have done the prayer, but he refused to do that. So this is the same dude, Reformed Baptist. So he's making the claim Lutherans are not Christians. Let's take a look at what he has to say. This was a wild video.
So you are a Lutheran.
Yeah.
And you believe in baptismal regeneration.
Yeah.
Like the water is actually required for salvation?
Yeah.
So you deny faith alone?
No, we hold to faith alone.
But you just said that water baptism is needed.
We are given faith through the baptism.
That's still baptismal regeneration.
Why is this German dude have a lisp? Through the baptism. We're giving faith through the baptism, y'all. Y'all, we getting faith in this baptism, y'all.
Generation.
Correct.
That's the opposite of faith alone.
How?
It's a work to get faith to get grace.
No.
It's just semantically saying that water baptism is necessary while at the same time trying to sound Christian.
Unless one is born of water and the Spirit, he cannot enter the kingdom of God.
Yeah, that's talking about being born again. There's a distinction between a spiritual baptism and a water baptism.
How?
In John 3:5, born of water is talking about your actual physical natural birth, and then the born of the Spirit is you being spiritually baptized. It is you being born again.
1 Peter 3:21 says that baptism now saves you.
Yes, and in that exact verse, he specifies and says that it's not the removal of dirt from the flesh, but it is the appeal to God for a good conscience. He's literally explaining it's not based on the water.
Well, that is a reach that there's 2 kinds of baptisms.
Yeah, John the Baptist literally says that I baptize you with water, but there is one who is greater than I who is coming who will baptize you with the Holy Spirit and fire.
So you don't believe in baptismal regeneration?
Of course.
So basically he's saying if you believe in real presence and baptismal regeneration, you're not a Christian, according to his view. I hope the music he's playing in the background doesn't copyright strike my stream. That would make me mad, but whatever. Let's keep watching.
Now, I believe that I get dipped in water to publicly profess that I have been crucified with Christ, and it is no longer I who live, but Christ who lives in me. It is what I do because I have been spiritually baptized.
But God uses the physical means of the water.
No, he doesn't. The water.
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. The water is nothing. Baptism is nothing. You're taking a bath.
just like the Lord's Supper, are very important, but they are symbolic.
They're both symbolic. Dude, I don't know too many people in apologetics land that even hold to memorialism anymore. It's kind of an untenable position. Who actually holds this anymore? Taco Talks, maybe needgod.net. That's it. Keith Foskey, he came on my show and did that. I don't know. Gavin actually believes in real presence and baptism and regeneration in some weird, like, off-brand way, spiritual or something. Spiritual presence.
Wait, you don't believe that the Eucharist is the real presence of Christ? I believe that Jesus is spiritually there where two or more gather in my
Nothing against Gavin, by the way. I consider him a friend. I'm just saying he holds just some distinct view on it.
name, I will be there also. So Jesus is spiritually among the believers, yes, but he's not transubstantiated as the literal substance. So then
As the literal substance.
you deny
Notice they don't ever know what transubstantiation is.
that we
They just think like it becomes like a hunk of meat or something.
receive grace through the Eucharist.
Oh, pay attention to this. This was the most weird claim he made. He said, so then you deny we receive grace through the Eucharist? Notice his claim that he makes about sola fide is odd.
So then you deny that we receive grace through the Eucharist and baptism? Of course, that's what sola fide actually means. It means all of the grace is received only through faith.
So he says that's what sola fide means. All the grace we receive is only through faith. That's nominalism. So that's literally what that is. So you're saying all the grace we receive is only through faith. So what, you deny sanctification as well? What are you talking about, dude? What are you talking about? That's not even sola fide. So he has no idea what sola fide even is. But I mean, I don't know, dude. You can't, most of these people just make up what they feel sola fide means. It's super convoluted amongst the different denominations in Protestantism. Some people will say something else. Some people will say something else. But he basically says all of the grace is only received through faith. So he just denies sanctification. In his view, it's only justification. That's the only thing that happens and nothing else happens. Weird.
But they are part of the means of grace, according to Catholics, but not according to the Bible. So do you think that
Yeah, wait until they learn faith is a work. That will blow their mind. Exactly.
I'm saved? It depends on if your faith is actually in Christ alone, because it doesn't sound like it. From what you're saying, it sounds like your faith is in Christ and your ability to do the sacraments in
You believe in works, dude. You believe in works.
order to receive grace. And if that's the case,
Dude, the sacraments are not a work, first off.
then no, you are not saved. So I think that this is a very important thing where people need to understand that the word Protestant
What's up, Alex? What's going on, dude? Hey, if you want to pop in, I'll bring you up if you want. I don't know if you're busy or not, but feel free. I'll send you a link if you want to pop in the stream. If not, no big deal.
doesn't automatically mean that they are a Christian. It's just a label like anything else. So you don't think I'm a Christian? I don't know, because what you actually expressed would be the same as the Galatian heresy, while at the same time you're
So he's saying he's anathema and cut off from Christ for being a Lutheran.
claiming that you're saved by faith alone, but yet everything you're explaining is not faith alone.
So he basically says Lutherans are not Christians. Oh, okay. No worries. Yeah. So he says, so the Reformed Baptist, the Pope of Protestantism, Taco Talks, basically says Lutherans are not Christian. I just saw he made another video. Should I look at it? He says, is Eastern Orthodoxy Christian? So he's doing an Orthodoxy video. Or should I save that for a separate thing? Really enjoying the Catholic News Series. Hey, I appreciate it, dude. Yeah, let's look at this. Let's look at this and then we'll wrap up. So this is the last one. Just for fun, we'll cover this. Is Eastern Orthodoxy Christian? Me? Taco Talks is going to say I'm not a Christian. Oh, it's over. Taco doesn't think I'm a Christian. Let's see what he has to say.
Christians. That's also what Roman Catholics
I wish you wouldn't include the music in the background because I really don't want to get copyright strike. That would be annoying.
and Mormons will say. What? You're not the original church. You came from the Catholic Church during the Great Schism, but you're still basically the same as a Catholic. No, you just don't understand what we believe.
He's trying to do like a Russian accent. He said you're the same as a Roman Catholic. You take that back. You take that back. You get my church's name out of your mouth. We are not Skittles.
You venerate icons? Yes. You pray to dead saints? They are alive in heaven. Did they die? Yes. So then they're dead until the resurrection. Do you believe that you're saved by?
So they're dead until the resurrection. So he doesn't think anybody's in heaven right now, is basically what he's saying. He's saying nobody's in heaven. So what does he believe in? Soul sleep? Is he a Jehovah's Witness? Well, actually, no, that other Reformed dude believed in soul sleep. So is he the same as a messenger of truth? Is he an annihilationist? He doesn't believe in eternal hell? What's the deal with that? Yeah, he believes in soul sleep, probably. Why are all these Reformed Baptist guys, why do they not believe in eternal hell? What's going on with that? You're just heresy maxing.
Grace alone, through faith alone, in Christ alone? No. So faith and works combined? No. Then what? We believe in theosis, which is participation in God's life. It is by grace and through the Spirit that we can take a share in God's energy, that we can become through grace what God is by nature. That's a weird way to say faith and works. It's not faith and works. So if I don't do certain works, can I be saved? No, because salvation is union with Christ, and living faith necessarily works through love. Works do not earn salvation, but a faith with no works is dead and non-saving. Because
notice how he just does these conversations by himself. Why doesn't he like debate Alex Soren or something? Like, why doesn't he just debate an Orthodox guy rather than just talking to himself? He's like, well, can you be saved without works? Can you be saved without works? Well, there's probably examples of exceptions throughout history, so on and so forth. But what Protestants want to do is they want to take the exception and make it the rule. When you notice this about everything, they want to make like the faith the lowest common denominator. Like for some Protestants, it's basically just you get an idea in your head and you're good, or you say a prayer and you're good. I don't think that's what Taco believes in. But ultimately, it just links back to it's just a form of nominalism. You're just like, I have an intellectual idea in my head. Anything more than me having some kind of idea in my head, being required for salvation. He says baptism doesn't matter, don't matter. Eucharist doesn't matter, don't matter. You don't need to do any of those things, even though in John 6, Christ literally says, if you do not do this, you have no life in you. So Taco thinks Jesus is a liar, basically. So when Jesus says, if you do not participate in my flesh and blood, you have no life in you, what he actually means is, I don't care. This is just a symbol. Don't do it. Doesn't matter. Who cares, dude? You don't got to participate in the Eucharist. Where do these guys get this from? It's just an idea in your head. Faith is like an idea in your head. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to like actually obey Jesus' commands. You could be like, you have an idea in your head. I've got faith. And you're like, I don't know, some kind of serial killer or something. It's no big deal. He would probably then say, no, you have to repent. Then refute himself.
it did not show the participation in God's life. So the works
Salvation by thinking alone. Yeah, exactly.
are merely fruits of justification already received. Justification is not the one-time finished legal act. Salvation is the ongoing participation in Christ. The works are both fruits and the means by which we are living out that faith. It is synergistic cooperation to earn it, not a singular evidence.
Dude, super easy to refute this guy's claim would basically be to ask him, is your faith strengthened by reading the Bible? Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, well, if you come to faith in your framework, if you come to faith and you become apostate, like you just want to, like you fall away from the faith, are you saved? Like, let's say, I don't know, you became a Christian, you became a Buddhist a year later. Are you still saved? Oh, no, faith saves. Faith saves. You have to have faith to be saved. Okay, well, if reading the Bible strengthens your faith and helps to keep you in the faith, do you not realize how that's synergism? Right? Easy way to refute these guys on this stuff. You get like Father Stephen DeYoung said. I'm just repeating what Father Stephen DeYoung confirmed in his stream with us. He said something along the lines of, Gosh, now I forget what he said. But basically, he said the same thing. Oh, he said real Christianity sneaks out. He said James White had said a similar blunder or something like that.
It's the verdict. So faith and works. Just because you say we don't earn.
Really liking what this Orthodox split personality is saying. Yeah, isn't it weird that the guy that he's pretending to debate against actually sounds smarter than he is? Have you noticed that? His fake alter ego actually sounds smarter than the actual Taco.
Doesn't actually remove that is the very thing that your beliefs are actually consequently concluding. We are the original Christians. No, but maybe you, like the Catholics, grew from.
He doesn't even respond to that. He just says, no. Moving on. You're not the original. It's actually the Reformed Baptists. Don't you know the apostles were all Reformed Baptists?
The church in Galatia, since you both hold to the Galatian heresy of thinking that you need to do certain works in combination with your faith. You guys just both try to be semantical and word it weird to confuse people, but that's not at all what you have.
You try to be semantical and word it weird. You confuse me with your fancy words that I don't even understand when I'm debating myself. You being semantical. You trying to trick me, boy. You tricking me, boy. I don't like that. You're using your tricknology to trick me.
Actually believe whenever you actually look at it. It is so simple. It is either all Jesus or all you, but both of you are Catholics because both of you think that it's part Jesus and part you.
Well, that was complete slop. You know what's shocking to me about Taco Talks? This dude has 100,000 followers on TikTok. Can you believe that? Taco Talks has 100,000 followers on TikTok. 100,000 people follow this dude. Why? What is going on? Yeah, TikTok is dead internet theory. Yeah, slop garbage usually ends up doing well. That's true. Yeah, you could be like the lowest tier apologetics figure in history and probably be successful on TikTok. That's true. Or you just talk about like the CIA and stuff and get shadow banned, which is pretty much what I did. Yeah, time to start taking over TikTok. That's right. Just don't talk about anything controversial at all. I talked about communism one time on there, and all of my posts got like 8 views for like months. Yeah. So just be careful what you talk about on there. But if you post slop, if you just post like selfie videos of you talking about like nothing, then you'll probably do well. But if you're putting anything with substance out there, you're probably not going to do well, to be honest. Hey, God bless you as well. Yeah, on TikTok for sure, dude, for sure. That's a mess. Anyway, so that's this week in Roman Catholic news. So we've covered quite a bit. We covered the William Albrecht, Sam Shamoun craziness with Divine Mercy apologetics. That's absolutely insane. We covered the Roman Catholic University that wants to subvert orthodoxy. So be aware of that. Make sure that you save that information. That's super key. Go ahead and follow me on X so that way you can take that thread and share that anytime somebody tries to use that as an own, because that is a Roman Catholic University trying to subvert orthodoxy. If you want to check out more info on that, I did a stream with Rachel Wilson on that subject. You can go and check out that live stream. Again, if you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. I'm going to go ahead and start plugging some of the stuff that we have coming up because I have some super awesome live streams coming up here in just a little bit. Tomorrow, I have a huge live stream, y'all. I got a huge live stream, y'all. Tomorrow is going to be an awesome one. A little more serious. Okay, so we're going to be serious in this next live stream. This will be more pastoral. I think this would be really good for anyone who's a catechumen, anyone who's an inquirer, anyone who is just entering into the Orthodox faith, or maybe you've been in the Orthodox faith for a while, and you're in that season of spiritual dryness, and your prayers feel dry, and reading scripture feels dry, and going to divine liturgy feels dry. What do you do in those seasons? What do you do when that happens to you in the Orthodox Church? What do you do when that happens to you in the Orthodox faith? What is the remedy for this in the Orthodox worldview, in our faith? Well, I've got a special guest coming on to discuss the remedy for spiritual dryness. I'm going to have Metropolitan Jonah on tomorrow for a live stream at 8 p.m. to discuss the remedy for spiritual dryness. So this will be a huge live stream. Go ahead and like that live stream ahead of time. Hit the bell so you get a notification. You will not want to miss this live stream. This is going to be an awesome one. And I've got some other stuff coming up soon as well. So Metropolitan Jonah will be on Monday. On the 29th, I'm going to have Father Ron, priest, come on to do a little Q&A, and we'll be discussing apologetics. On Tuesday, the 3rd, I'm going to be filming a video. This will be pre-recorded, but I'll release it at some point the week of the 3rd. Father Turbo is going to come on, and we're going to do a discussion there. So that'll be interesting. And he's going to give some advice to catechumens as well. So that'll be nice. On the 5th of February, Anthony Westgate is coming on the show. We're going to talk about the occult roots of Protestantism. So that'll be an awesome show. Make sure to stay tuned for that. I've got a lot of awesome guests lined up for February. February is going to blow you guys' socks off. The guests that I have on this show in February is going to be insane. I keep getting blessed with these amazing priests, clergy, apologists, just awesome people reaching out, wanting me to connect with people. People are making this happen. If there's somebody super interesting that has some kind of like public figure or whatever that you want to hear from, and you know how to get me in contact with them, send me an email. You know, we can do a show at some point. Father Z is going to come on in February 10th, Father Zechariah. So that'll be nice. On the 13th, we've got a huge stream, February 13th. Father Stephen DeYoung, 6-man Orthodox Marvel Rivals stream. This is going to be huge. Father Stephen DeYoung. It's going to be Father Stephen DeYoung. It's going to be me. It's going to be Jay Dyer. It's going to be Orthodox Luigi. It's going to be Fearless Truth. Who's the other one? And Alex Soren's going to come. So that'll be a massive stream. February 13th, Marvel Rivals, Father Stephen DeYoung and the gang, Jay Dyer, Alex Soren, Luigi, me, Fearless Truth. That'll be huge. So February 13th, big stream. Put that in your calendar. Write that down. Massive stream. After that, 16th, I've got Conrad from World War Now. Actually, I'll be on his show on the 16th. 17th, Buck Johnson's coming on my show to talk about Christian Zionism. What other big streams do I have? On the 26th, Kangman Lee, political commentator, is going to be popping onto my show to talk about something very interesting. So stay tuned for that. That'll be a nice show. So check that out. So we got a lot of cool shows coming up in February, and I still have shows to wrap up January. Again, tomorrow, the big one, Metropolitan Jonah, massive stream. Make sure to promote that, share that like crazy, get people in this live stream chat. I want just as many people watching the Roman Catholic news streams to watch this with Metropolitan Jonah, because this will be the first time that we have a hierarch on the show. So pray for me also, but we'll be respectful, be very respectful, but you can ask questions. Why would you want to miss an opportunity to ask Metropolitan Jonah your questions? Don't. Bookmark that. Put the notifications on. This is going to be a huge opportunity for y'all to hear it straight from somebody with a lot of wisdom. But I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much for watching. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. Thanks for watching. God bless.